Aloha, shifters from across the world. This is Brendon reporting to you live in this present moment for another paradigm shift team building hangout thing that we got going on here. And thank you so much for joining us once again. And of course, this is the thing that we do through the Paradigm Shift Central project, ever evolving project to be able to help create conscious media and to be able to build physical paradigm shift communities across the world and to be able to help remind people of our interconnectedness. So speaking of interconnectedness, let's say hello to the beautiful people who we have here in the Hangout tonight. So if everybody wants to unmute ourselves, and we'll say hello to the internets in return. So let's say hello to the internets, everyone.
Hello to the internet.
Hello,
Hello.
Cha-cha-cha.
Awesome. So thank you so much for everyone joining in. Once again, if you haven't tuned into this project before, and you can definitely go back and check out past episodes, but the quick introduction is that ParadigmShiftCentral.com is this project that we started that is a real-world interactive game to be able to help assist in the shift in consciousness. And the way how it works is by connecting people through virtual environments, giving them a platform to be able to share their spiritual stories, and creating consciousness shifting media, and also, again, to be able to focus on the creation of physical paradigm shift communities that focus around open-minded discussion and meditation circles. So there's over 50 Paradigm Shift communities across the world, and I'm with Paradigm Shift London, Ontario, Canada. My name is Brendon, and we'll go through this team building hangout with the intention of just being able to get to know one another, to be able to share our stories with the idea that this project is really documenting the shift in consciousness through our personal stories. And I'll give you guys some updates on the website. The quick update is that since the last time we did a team building hangout, which was on January 7th, at this point, the website is now much more usable. The layout is in effect, and things are looking awesome for it. And basically, it's at the point where people can totally use it as a platform, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about how to be able to expand the audience for the platform to be able to just get more people synced up with the project and to be able to allow the content that we're creating to be seen by a wider audience. So we'll talk more about that later on, but I just want to be able to pass things over because we'll get an introduction from some of the people here. So in terms of the people who we have here, we have Alina, we have Angela, we have Brian, we have Cody, we have Gregory, and we have Michelle, and we have Tony, who is not on a microphone, but he's still with us in the chat. And if anybody else wants to join us in the live chat, you can totally just type in things there as well. So there's a live chat within the main website. If you go to the main ParadigmShiftCentral.com, then the live chat thing's in the bottom right. You just click that and open that up. So what we'll do is we'll pass a talking stick around the circle, and we'll do some basic introductions, and I'll do my introduction in terms of what I was up to in the last week. But the questions that we'll go around with first is just who we are, where we're from, what we're interested in terms of like spiritual topics, or not even just spiritual topics, but like hobbies or anything like that. And then basically what the shift in consciousness looks like from our perspective, kind of like where we are within the physical community, and anything that we're doing to help assist in the shift in consciousness, be it our art, be it involvement with communities, be it progress on creating a physical paradigm shift community, or anything else. And then a bonus question would be, how are you feeling? Because that was something that we asked last week to really just sort of tap into the awareness of our feelings. So with that said, we'll begin by Michelle's like doing some. What are you? She's like dancing, feeling type thing going on.
I was feeling how I was feeling.
Yeah, you're feeling. I can tell. Cool. So we'll begin by passing it over to Gregory, and simultaneously I'm just gonna relay this link to a couple other places. And if you guys want to share this link right now and let people on social media know that we're live and they can tune in, then please feel free to do that. And of course, if you're listening to this in the future, anything that you help reshare through Paradigm Shift helps expand the audience and helps change the world. So thanks for helping with that part. So we'll pass it over to Gregory. So Gregory, if you want to unmute yourself.
Hey everyone,
Hey, man.
Gregor Arturo here.
So yeah, go right ahead, man. Just all those questions that I mentioned, but take your time and yeah, just starting with who you are, where you're from, what you're interested in, and what the shift looks like to you and all that other stuff I said. So
Absolutely. I'm Gregor Arturo. I'm originally from the state of Maine. I'm currently at the moment in Venice Beach, California, but I've been living mostly up in Northern California. I've been involved in the free energy movement for about 8 years, working in the field of vortex-based mathematics. I'm actually hopefully going to get to rendezvous with Marco Rodin again next week. And I've been involved in the development of several different forms of technologies. And the main notion with these technologies is how they relate to, you could say, making our lives easier, but also transforming certain aspects of our reality. And that's the elevation and liberation of human consciousness. And so I really would like to stick around and talk more. I'm going to have to run to an event. But at the same time, I just want to relay that I'm putting together a design firm and involving a nonprofit and a public benefit corporation, and we're bringing together a bunch of designers not only to push forward new technologies and inventions, but also bring about wonderful forms of creative social media to move forward this paradigm. And so really focusing on physical and also educational pieces, inspirational pieces to bring forth radical change. And thank you all for participating in the shift with us. Absolutely.
That's really cool, man. You said so you're working on vortex mathematics, is that, what's the term for that again?
Vortex-based mathematics.
Yeah.
This is a star coil. This is a Star of David. This one's 3D printed. We're going to be printing some of these in plastic and actually electroplating them and then melting the plastic away and filling them full of ferrofluid. And so it's a new type of magnet. And so I'm actually working with Hyperloop, which is it's one of 3 companies bidding for the Hyperloop contract. And the Hyperloop is to build a train that goes from the Bay to LA in 35 minutes at 700 miles per hour in evacuated tube transport. And so one of the things I could relate to that is my goal with the group of people I'm working is if we can secure that contract for the magnets, it's massive residual income. It's like residual income Tesla got for Niagara Falls. But that residual income is to support the free thinkers, to support the light workers, and move forward the massive amount of projects, especially in the realms of permaculture, that are going to transform our society in terms of sustainability.
That sounds really cool, man. How long have you been involved with that? And I know you have to head out in a second, so.
I've been involved in it for about 8 years. I've taught workshops at many different festivals, at the Breakthrough Energy Movement. I have a YouTube channel with over 300,000 views and 200 videos. And so you can follow my work on my website, gregor.ninja. Very simple to remember.
Oh, sweet. Can you post that in the stuff on the side? I'm trying to think of, it's quite possible I've seen some of your stuff already, actually, now that you mention it. So.
I've been around the block.
Cool, man. I'll definitely check that out, and we'll include the links into it. And anything that you want to be able to share through the Paradigm Shift Central project, please feel free. Whether it's new content, old content, if it's things that are going to be able to help shift people's paradigms, then it's definitely things that we want to be able to help share. So, yeah, I'd love to talk to you a little bit about that once we get a chance.
Absolutely, cool. And I could also mention I do have a crowd fundraiser going, a very small one for one of the projects I'm working on. It's the development of a Joe cell. It's a piece of technology that's already been developed, but a lot of people fail at developing it. I'm making it at a very high level of precision, top engineering, and we're going to do it right. And I want to document it and show this concept in full, because up to this moment, no one has a working theory for how it works until I've got a working theory on it, very detailed, and is explaining the nature of the vacuum and how to utilize vacuum to run these systems, which the vacuum intrinsically relates to consciousness.
Yeah, because like you said, it's all based around the mathematics and the sacred geometry of it and everything.
Absolutely.
Well, that's super cool, man. Is there anything else you want to share before you have to go?
No, just if anything, sending blessings and sharing the awesomeness that's happening in the world.
Cool. What's your name on Facebook? We're already connected on Facebook?
We're already connected on Facebook.
Gregor, I'm just going to make sure I got your profile.
I've talked to you once before, but a long time ago.
Okay. What's your name on Facebook, just so I can make sure I got it?
Gregor Arturo Clary. I just posted it in the group chat.
Oh, did you? Okay. Then that makes it perfect. Okay, awesome. Cool, man. Well, thanks for stopping by. And yeah, that sounds really cool to hear that you're involved with that.
Absolutely. Blessings, everyone. Ciao.
Sweet. All right, I'll talk to you later, man. Peace out. Cool. So yeah, no, that's really awesome to be able to hear what Gregor is up to. And again, for anybody listening to this, we'll post the links into the notes for this episode, which are underneath the in the main Paradigm Shift Central website, and then just find the post for the January 14th Hangout and scroll down to the bottom, and underneath there you'll see the links so you can check out more of Gregor's stuff. And it sounds like he's got some good stuff on his YouTube. Like, I honestly haven't checked it out myself yet, so I shall do that. So well, with that said, who would like to do an update? Who would like to share an update next? Possibly Michelle?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll go.
Sure. Okay, cool.
I was open. I love Gregor's. It was like Fast and Furious. Like, bam, this is what I'm about. All right, peace. That was nice. And I checked out his website. His website's pretty cool. So it's wonderful because it's science and it's like the opposite spectrum of my own self. All right, so I'll talk about myself now. Hi, everybody who's listening. I'm Michelle Infinity. So let's see. I built a healing sanctuary in my home. I want to say thank you to the Shift community because I really felt love. I posted my latest video on the LiveNet site for us, and I got love from Canada. I think 2 people commented from Canada. Breezy commented. I miss her tonight, Breezy. Shout out to you. I love you so much. But it was awesome to have that feedback, and that's something that I wanted to talk about because I felt that I felt a lot of gratitude to the community, and I feel like right now, like, how do I feel? I feel very positive about what I've created. Let me think of something else to say. There's 2 things. One of them is at the beginning of doing these blogs. We were like, yeah, I should do videos. We should do videos more often. And I'm grateful that I've committed to doing the videos and the speaking and doing the videos. It feels very good to do that. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing was that I went through my spare room with like this other opposite intention, which I mentioned in the video, and I created like a healing sanctuary, like a badass healing sanctuary in my house, like home office, so I can do work on people. And I already have somebody visiting me next weekend to do it. So it's like if you move a little inch in a direction, the universe comes in and lifts you up. And so I just want to tell everybody that if you're getting the push from the universe to do anything, you should do it because it'll come from, it's just love, and it comes from everywhere, and it's amazing. And then what else am I up to? So let me tune in for a second because I feel like I'm speaking very quickly and not as grounded as I could be. I am creating. Well, I'm very excited. I love this. It's actually I'm juiced about what I'm doing. So I'm doing these sound healing ceremonies with a couple goddesses I know. One of them is Amanda Amethyst, who is in Florida, who I know from the Asheville 3DL community. And another one is this woman, Erica, who is a beautiful woman who lives in my community in Central Florida. And we're going to be co-creating sacred space and ceremony. I actually had a dream that I really needed to do ritual a lot more often for people. And so my contribution to the earth, which I'm stepping into, is to be able to create these healing spaces for others. And I do it through singing and sound. And I've talked about this before. I do kirtan, etc. But so we're actually making it happen, and it'll be on the full moon. And I'm excited about that. And so it's basically like sharing a healing energy frequency dimension where people can. My ultimate intention is just to like create spaces where people can like walk into the space and be healed. Hence the reason like creating it in my own house, like building temples. I feel like that's a part of my purpose, and to work in temples and to travel through like build traveling temples as well, which is something that Amanda's done. So priestesses unite, and sound healing is so important. Ceremony and ritual is so important, and sharing your voice is so important. Which, like the blogs, the vlogs, the talking with community, the reaching out, and the singing. So that is the menagerie of what I've been. Besides all like the lessons and the deep dark new moon that just happened, there's been a lot of growth, but that's what I'm creating in the world. So I hope that's it. And yeah, Florida. Yeah, Florida. We should meet. So if other people are in Florida. So that's a weird, I mean, Amanda's coming on here. I just want to say one more thing. Florida is, like, the vibration in Florida is shifting. And I kind of, like, I feel like I knew that when we met Skull in, like, 2012. I was like, I know I'm here for a reason, because everybody was everywhere. Like, there's Canada, there's East Coast, there's Asheville. And I'm like, it's going to change here. And it is. It's starting to. I'm seeing it happen. So, and I'm seeing more and more people in our web, our light, again, like Yay Shift community, Yay community, because it's like the web and Yay internet, hallelujah. We get to like talk to each other and learn from each other and be together when we're not like immediately together.
For sure. That's cool. Awesome. Did you have any other video ideas in the works or anything related to that coming up?
I actually want to talk about, like, when you, even though you said that question, I want to answer, how am I feeling?
yeah. If you answered that sort of, but go ahead.
Yeah, how am I feeling? I think by my giddiness, as that you can tell, I feel good. I feel powerful. I feel grateful, and I feel like connected to my purpose, which I think is the best feeling that anybody can have. And I just want to tell people, whoever may be hearing this, because I'm always like thinking, as somebody who's an empath, I'm always thinking of people who are like feeling like overwhelmed energetically, because I get that feeling. Like last week, I was feeling that like all last week, and there was a buildup in the new moon, and then there was a shift, and like today I took a day to rest, and I'm so grateful that I did that, because it's just like I feel like I reset. And I just want to tell people that, like, if you're in a funk, like, it'll shift, you'll reset. And when you feel in that centered space, like where you're connected to yourself and you're connected to your mission, like, you feel so empowered. So through my words right now, I want to share that vibration so that people can tune into that and then also claim it for themselves.
Cool, sounds good. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing, Michelle. It's always nice to hear what you've been up to. So, holding that space and everything. So, awesome. Cool. Okay, so we'll go into some more introductions. I'll go next actually, and then we'll continue to go around the circle. So again, my name's Brendon, and I'm from Paradigm Shift, London, Ontario, Canada. And basically, within the last week for me, again, a lot of it has been focused on building the website and everything. And I'm kind of, I'm at the point where, like, after spending literally like the last more so than a month really focusing on building the website, I've spent a lot of time indoors, and now I'm just like getting to the point where I'm just like, all right, like I need to make sure that like I'm like getting outside and everything like that. Now that the website's kind of at a point where I can sort of like step back from some of like the immediate website workload type stuff. So I'm looking forward to just being able to make excuses and reasons for me to get outside a little bit more often, but I'm really happy with where the website is at, and this really is like another new chapter within the Paradigm Shift community. I mean, those people who have been tuned in for a while, you guys would have seen this numerous times again, where Paradigm Shift as a project continues to evolve, and now we have like this whole standalone social media website. And it's funny because it's now that it's here, it almost seems that like it's just like, wait, like haven't we always had this? Like, wasn't this like always a thing? Like, but it's a pretty big thing, and it's something that I think we can all be quite proud of, because it's like a collective like vision board, a collective art board, and you know, again, like the idea behind it is to give all of us a shared platform for being able to share our conscious media and really to be able to practice journaling. I think for, again, if people aren't signed up for the website, you can do that, but when you just open up the Quest journal and you start like typing, it can be a very exciting experience, and I'm looking forward to doing it more, just in terms of like flow of consciousness type writing, you know, just to be able to ask yourself like a simple question and then just be like, okay, let's just see what I write, and then you just do it as a practice. So I'm really happy to be able to have that. And within the last week, there's actually been quite a bit excuse me, there's been quite a bit of activity within my own reality in terms of what's happened and everything. And I'll go back to the last Friday, 2 Fridays ago at a Paradigm Shift meeting. I introduced the first footage for the 360-degree camera that I have, that I actually mentioned in the last broadcast. So I would have shown that to you guys in the last broadcast, and then I recorded it that Friday, and I was able to upload it. So that's actually pretty cool. The quality of it's like not the best, but it's also because of the way that I rendered it, but it's still like a neat way to be able to bring people into the virtual space of the Paradigm Shift circle meetings. And then, so that went well, that meeting went well. And then on the most recent Sunday was the Spirituality Expo 2016, which is something, again, if people are kind of remember me talking about this in the past, but it's something that I've done like presentations at in the past, and we've had a Paradigm Shift table there for numerous years, and the community group there is a group called London Seekers, and it's a group that talks about, like, they meet up every Sunday to talk about like spiritual topics. And I started going there in like 2009, and that's actually kind of what inspired me to create Paradigm Shift shortly after that. So it's really neat to be able to like be in that community, and it was all like these tables and workshops with like different people who had different organizations, different businesses, different communities that they were promoting here within London, Ontario. And yeah, and we had a workshop, and it went well, and got to connect with some more people, gave out a bunch of free shift buttons at our table, and had some good conversations, and yeah, just like connecting people with the opportunity to come out to our open-minded discussion and meditation circles. And, you know, really bringing it back, like, what is this whole project about? Because, like, it was interesting. Let me just grab my tea, actually, and I'll just take a second to not be in a rush. Sipping tea with intention. So
I know it's so easy to get like,
yeah. Well, especially when we're doing the radio shows, sometimes there's like time limits and stuff, whereas like with this, it's just like, hey, if it turns out to be a 6-hour broadcast, then whatever. But at the same time, I want to honor the audience's time, but sometimes, you know, having a longer broadcast is actually a nice thing. In some ways, if it's just like a casual thing that people put on, listen to when they're just like out and about on their journeys, which is, again, what I do. You know, I listen to podcasts while I walk my dog. Like, I listen to the recordings of our team recordings, our team broadcasts when I'm walking my dogs, and I enjoy it. I enjoy listening to them. I really do. There's some pretty funny moments, and last week's there's, yeah, some good stuff in it. But what I was saying in terms of my mom was actually asking me just like the other day, she's like, you know, like, what is like the objective of like the Paradigm Shift Central project? You know, she was just kind of like playing like devil's advocate, and she's like, you know, it just says to like change the world. Like, what does that mean? Like, to me, if I was just like Joe Blow, like, that sounds too ambiguous and stuff. So what I've been saying is that, you know, like, it's really bringing it back to community, and community is like how we change the world, by like inspiring people and giving them a sense of connection to be able to explore paths within themselves that perhaps they hadn't been finding the encouragement to do so outside of particular communities, and again, to like promote open-mindedness, to promote mindfulness. And it is really also about like a spiritual thing, you know, like a lot of us here have sort of had our own processes of waking up to our interconnectedness, and it's being able to just like create a space where that can where other people can sort of walk that path for themselves, where they can sort of have their own awakening, and to have it be something where they feel supported through a community in the process of doing it. Whereas before, back in the day, they might have just been like, oh, I'm just everybody thinks I'm crazy. Where here it's just like, oh, there's like other people who are interested, and well, at the same time, keeping it fairly down to earth and grounded and casual without it needing to, and relatable, I think is a big part of what this project is about, and just having a good time and everything. So yeah, that was just something I was thinking about. But moving along, just like with the overall updates and stuff, the Spirituality Expo went well. And then, within the last few days of this week, with the broadcast kind of going more, with the website being more officially live, I launched the video, the 2016 Evolution Challenge. And did you guys can unmute yourself, did you guys have a chance to watch that video, the 2016 Evolution Challenge that I put up? And if so, what your thoughts might have been on it? Any feedback?
You're very active. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
he's yelling at me.
I'm like dancing around and stuff. Yeah. Well, if you've ever seen Preston Smiles videos, it's really like inspired by kind of the energy that he brings into his videos as well. And shout out to him and check his stuff out if you haven't yet. But yeah, no, that's like a format I'm planning on doing a little bit more with when I get the opportunity and everything. But yeah, so just kind of going through real quick, like the website, part of my focuses right now are just to be able to expand the audience of the website, to be able to have an example being that video or any of the other videos that other people are promoting, are posting through the website, and finding a way as to how to get them out there to a global audience. And this is actually like a really tricky thing, and I won't just get into it right now, but it has to do with optimizing social media in terms of like Facebook, in terms of like how to share things and being able to like link back to the Facebook page to grow our audience there, and creating meme images. And that was one thing that I do want to talk to you guys about in terms of like collaborative creative stuff, is the opportunity for the main website to really be used as a space for us to be able to work on creative projects. So for example, if there's different artists, different graphic artists, they can like provide things that other people can use in their videos. Several people in the community are musicians, and they've offered to provide their music. So example, like Michelle could have a cool video that she's going to film in a week, and then she'll be able to like find music that somebody else has provided in the community that's like obviously with permission and original and everything, and it kind of just like makes it neat to sort of like collaborate. So within the 2016 Evolution Challenge video that I did, and again, if you haven't seen the video, go check it out. You can just go to ParadigmCentral.com and you can find it under the videos and the newest community videos. But the idea is that the challenge is for people to feel more. So again, like the message is one that I feel is actually like worth sharing and everything. So like as a team, like that's something that I want to be able to ask, is like, how can we get that out there more? And one of the ways that we can do that is by like using by creating more content to draw audience into the main Facebook page using meme images. So meme images being like inspirational text on a simple image background, and creating that to be able to share. So that's something that I want to be able to talk to you guys about, either just like later on in the Hangout or whenever, about like making our own meme inspirational quote images, because those things are like totally effective to be able to build the audience in that way. Yeah, so there's also that, and the other thing that I'm also focusing on, and then I'll pass this off just in terms of my updates. Well, I'll say how I'm feeling right now. Honestly, like how I'm feeling, I sort of said to Michelle, like if I wasn't doing this Hangout right now, like I'd probably be sleeping. Like I've been sort of feeling that I've kind of been like running myself into the ground in terms of like staying up pretty late and like working a lot during the day on this project and everything. So again, but now that things are where they are, I'll be sure to make sure that I kind of like make the time to take care of myself a little bit more, because I can feel like I'm kind of in a fatigue. Like after, like I want to be able to finish this recording for the Hangout perhaps by 11 so that I can go like work out. And just making sure that I'm taking the time for myself. But so like how I'm feeling right now is a little bit tired, yet still focused and determined and confident in this project. And the other side of my attention within this project project is related to the commerce. So I mean, there's a fair amount of cost involved with the website, involved with like the back end stuff, and being able to support that is really important through the support of the community. So part of what my goal is with the project is being able to sell things such as the shirts and the buttons, and I'm going to be getting more into that within the next week. You guys will be seeing more promotion stuff related to the buttons. But the next really effective way to be able to help sustain myself financially in this project is, again, reminding you guys to be able to support my Patreon account. And the Patreon account is the crowdfunding to end all crowdfunding, and it's basically you guys signing up as monthly supporters through there for a few dollars a month, and then you get also awesome perks in return, such as 25% bonus to shift button orders and other exclusive projects that I'll be releasing through there. But yeah, like that's something that in terms of my updates, like rather than just thinking like, oh, I've got to focus on that so that I can make money, it's I have to put my attention to that so that the project can sustain itself. You know, the money is just sort of like one step in the process, and I think it is like an important part within like the spiritual journey, because part of what makes it possible to manifest money successfully is when you remove your attachment to it. So again, you know, like it's me being able to like see the money as just like a number within this game that I have to sort of be able to set my focus towards. And yeah, like that is something where like if people are listening to this now, then yeah, if you guys can sign up for the Patreon, preferably like, you know, sooner or whenever, then like that's super awesome to be able to work towards my career path achievement goal, which is literally like be able to earn like $2,500 a month, which it may sound like a lot, but when it's broken down into microtransactions, it's totally doable. And again, like the money for that is also to be able to earn money to do the Paradigm Shift tour, which would be involving like me traveling across to different parts of the States and other countries and meeting up with you guys. And again, the website's going to be a big part of that. And just another thing in terms of like how I'm feeling, like I honestly am feeling a little bit of pressure in terms of right now my time frame is narrowing between now and Lucidity Festival coming up in April. So like within like the next, like I still have to finish the Journey to Lucidity 3 movie. Those who aren't familiar, you know, Journey to Lucidity is a movie that I've released 2 of so far, and I film it at the Lucidity Festival in California each year. And again, you know, last year I released it on December 21st, but this year, just with the project being busy, I haven't released it yet. Like, I haven't finished it yet. So my reality is this one where, like, my intention is to finish that movie between now and hopefully, like, end of February, while also being able to raise enough money to make sure that I can support myself in going back out to California, while also being able to manage the website and to be able to continue to make more media and to be able to help you guys get your content out there. So at this point, like it is really also part of my journey where, you know, again, I'm just putting out the opportunity for us to collaborate on things, and that's where I want to be able to get your guys' input on just like ways how we can be able to expand the network for the audience, but also just being able to give my attention to the people who are loyal to this community, and you know, loyal in the sense of like coming back to it and checking it out and interested in the content, and just being able to, like, my intention is to be able to, you know, this is part of the mission involved with this, you know, before I can earn people's support through my Patreon, I feel I have to be able to earn their trust and their loyalty through the creation of like strong content, and by being able to like continue to provide like media through the website and updates through the website and everything like that. So if at this point, you know, you've been following this project for a while, at any point ask yourself if I have like met your whether you had expectations or not, or if I have, like, you know, passed your test or something like that, you know, because I really want to be able to just do this to be able to again, like prove to you guys that this is something that I'm committed to. This is something that it's my intention to be able to continue to evolve this project, and for me to be able to support, for me to be able to commit myself to this as like a lifelong career path achievement. So yeah, so multiple things kind of going on within my reality, which honestly is, in terms of this project, is nothing new. But yeah, I'll just kind of open up the mics in terms, because I'd be open to, if you guys, what are your guys' feelings on the whole me trying to raise money through my Patreon crowdfunding sort of thing? Just asking you guys. Sorry, Cody? Or
yeah, I said, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good plan. I'm just trying to think of other ways that could raise the money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it takes me like that's the thing with the Patreon though. Like once I reach that goal, like we're set. Like we literally are set. So if it takes me like half a year to reach it, then so be it. But in order for it to get there, like I have to continue to be able to invite people back to, inviting them. Like sometimes like personal messages are effective and everything.
Right.
But yeah, like it's something that I have to keep at. I can't just ignore it, or else it's going to get to the point where like I'll just be, running myself dry sort of thing. So I got to keep those, the resources filled up and stuff. So yeah.
Well, there was a site that I used to kind of get my graphics going for a little bit, and it's called, let's see here, I'm looking for it right now. Hold on one sec. Where's it at? Where is it at? Oh boy, let's see here. Booster.com. Have you heard that yet?
Booster.com. I don't think I've heard of that.
So basically what they do is you can upload like an image. In this case, I was thinking something that could be, paradigm shift, somewhere around that area. And you could upload it to this website. And basically what happens is, let's see here, I'm looking.
It looks like I went to booster.com, but their website looks like it's having some issues right now.
I'm on it right now. I'm just trying to find the best way to explain this.
Also, I will say we do have a new friend who has joined us in the Hangout. So hello to Natalia.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to our Hangout thing.
Okay, so here it is. So basically it goes, sell custom t-shirts, other custom apparel, and take donations with no inventory or hassles. Just create and share your products and story. We will fill the orders and send along the funds you raise. Boosters are great for any group, cause, or community. So basically if we come up with a good like logo or something to put on a shirt, then you could probably send that out, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and maybe that could be a good way to, raise some funds.
Yeah, so it's a shirt thing then, eh?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I was thinking of other ways too besides shirts, but that's the only one that popped up.
Well, I mean, the shirts is something that I'm totally down with, because like right now, like even if you're on the website, if you like scroll down a bit on the right side, there's the link to the Open Your Heart shirts, like the shirt that I'm wearing right now. So like this is, product placement like within the Hangout sort of thing. Perfect. But I'll be posting, like I'm gonna be running promotion on shirts in the next little bit. But again, like raising money through the shirts, like I'll be able to like use some of that money for myself, but the majority of that money I like to be able to just keep invested into the community. So like selling t-shirts is parallel to the Patreon, but it doesn't, I'm not trying to do one over the other. Like it's something where like because again, like achieving the Patreon like really solidifies the idea of this project continuing to go, and whereas like the earning things in chunks such as like shirt campaigns can definitely help boost the community. Because again, like honestly, and this is what I was doing in the past, a lot of the money that we would get in through the T-shirts that we've sold in the past and the buttons that we sold in the past, I would use those to also invest in like Facebook promotions. So
Oh, okay.
that's something that I want to be able to help you guys with as well, is to be able to, you know, invest in some of your posts and everything. So we'll be streamlining things a little bit more in the future. But yeah, like I mean, what about like, I'll literally just like ask you guys openly, is anybody here able, like, I'm trying to think of the best way to word this, like, how do you guys feel about signing up to my Patreon? Is that something that you guys would be able to do, even if it's like a couple dollars, or if it's something you might be able to do later on?
I could do it later on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all in the same boat together. Like, when you were talking about managing 16 different projects and not knowing how you're going to get to California, like, honey, I'm with you. Like, you don't understand. Like, Spirit is like, hey, go to this country, and then go to this country, and get this training, and why don't you meet this healer, and do this, and then all at the same time. I mean, honey, I am right there with you with, like, feeling like you have a lot of creativity and a lot to accomplish and do your own healing work. Because there's like your own path that you're on where you're like a student, and then the path where you're a teacher and a leader, and you have to provide that outwardly, and then you have to have a job and make money, you know. So there's a lot of different commitments that we have, and what I'm hearing in you, like, you're gonna do this because I know you for so many years. You're going to do this regardless, no matter what. You're going to do whatever this vein for you because you're passionate and you have a drive in you to express and to be a journalist, a conscious journalist. That's like who you are. And you're going to do that like hell or high water, and you're going to live and die by that. But like, you may, like the rest of us, have to get a different small jobs to sustain you while you build your project. That's like all of us. Like, I'm an artist, eclectic artist. I've had to do that too. I don't have like a, you know, it's magically like this, but all I can give you is my version of reality, and that's how it comes. It comes in little bits from everywhere. And yes, there's a lot being asked of us. And then eventually, like, all the people, this is what I feel will happen, and this is kind of the dream for my own life. It's like, eventually all the pieces click into place, and you're a little younger than me, and it's like, when I was, you do feel like that scramble of like, when is that going to happen? It's like frustrating. I go through it too. And this is for anybody in their 20s, by the way. It's like, we all like are like, what is going on? I have all this passion in these projects, but like, the world doesn't reflect. And then like, you click into gear. Like, when I became a teacher, like in my Saturn return, like I teach web design, like, and it's just like, all of a sudden you get like a project that sustains you, that is also, you can live in congruence with your passion, with your soul work, with your spiritual work, and it supports you. So like, there is a click into place that happens. But and really receiving this, but to say, like, to ask like the community, like, I totally get that you work for us and with us and like want from us, but like, everybody's in the same boat. And that's been my thing with crowdfunding, is like, everybody's trying to do the same thing, is like, have their art, passion, and their sustenance from life. So if you're not seeing results in that way, that's just because like, everybody's right there with you. So I'll say it like that. And yeah. And the other thing that you've been feeling before, well, I think we're going to circle back around to this, so I'm not going to say it, but commitment, like passion and commitment and just doing it and knowing that you're going to do it and feed it, I think that's good. That takes you far. Like I was saying about the universe, like, fills in the gaps. So I think that's all you have to do, is align your soul to that, and then like, listen for the opportunities to come. And then the other thing that I wanted to say yes, because this is in my own sphere, and I know that other people feel this too. Say yes to the opportunities and get comfortable receiving and like allowing those miracles to be in your life, because that's something that I've created content about, where I'm like witnessing, like, where I'm like, oh, brushing off miracles. I'm like, it's like, yes, thank you. Like, say yes to miracles, to the habit of that. And I think once we get consistent in those right actions of like saying yes, listening, being compassionate, driven, not losing faith, like, all of a sudden it clicks. And like, there's also divine timing too. Like, our life is set up on a chart, you know? So like, there's a divine So, all right, that's all I'll say. But there's a divine blueprint for all of us that, like, we are on this path, and sometimes it takes forever. And, okay, the last thing I'll say, Kai Pacha, you know, the astrologer. Is anybody familiar with him? Kai Pacha. He does New Paradigm Astrology. I love him. Anyway, he said to me one time, he was like, shit takes forever down here. We're in 3D. It takes a while. And that just is something I wanted to pass on at the end of all that. So I love you. I love all of you.
Cool. Yeah, and
I wanted to. Oh.
Go ahead. Yeah, Leah.
Oh, I wanted to say this is my first time coming on here. I actually follow you on Instagram, and I just randomly turned on my phone, and you were inviting people on, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go on, and so I can't say that I can, you know, give any money at this time or, you know, anything like that, but I'd love to look way more into your website in more depth and really be part of the community and get to know everything that's going on a lot more. But when it does come to money, I feel like it depends on two things for you. Like, I want to offer advice, but I don't know too much about you, so I feel like it depends on what you're willing to do. Like, for example, the t-shirts. You want to do t-shirts, and then also the amount of money that you want to get out of, or that what your objective is money-wise. So, but like you were saying with, for example, the sayings and things like that, or the quotes, you wanted to do that on Instagram, or is that for a website, or?
I mean, Instagram and Facebook, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you already know, to publicize yourself and get more people that are more coverage. But when it comes to profit, I know that when it comes to YouTube, absolutely, that's a great market, and what I love about this is that it's a bunch of enlightened people. It doesn't really matter, like, we can come from so many different paths, but it overlaps, and so there's so many different subcultures that you can reach out to. It can be different types of things, like maybe vegan community, you know, different. I don't know. So I don't know, just an idea. I don't know if that helped at all, but I just. I love,
Alina, that he posted on Instagram and that you came on and you joined us. I think that is so badass. I love it so much.
He had posted things before, and I had kept missing it, and I was like, I need to be a part of this because this is awesome. It's great to be able to share my thoughts and my ideas and hear your guys' projects too and what you guys are working on. And without a filter, you know, sometimes you want to share things that are just unadulterated. These are what my dreams are. These are what my passions are. And,
yeah. So let's let you talk now. I feel like directing the conversation. Yeah. So what are your?
I agree.
Yeah, let me just respond real quick, and then Alina will pass it off to we'll do more updates and introductions and stuff. Because I mean, like it's totally, guys. Like I understand, like it's this weird thing where sometimes it's like hard to talk about money. Like it's hard to like. Because like even just doing that like turns people off, which is like really peculiar. But like again, totally, it's one of those things where. It again, you know, like this Hangout is kind of like the back end of the project. Like it's not something that everyone will see, but it is a chance for us to sort of brainstorm how it can become successful. And it is something that, you know, like I do just need to be able to talk about, and it's also something where I hope that we can like all learn something out of. And I'll just say like, what was I going to say exactly? Nah, it's probably nothing too relative actually, but yeah, like. Okay, no, I was just going to clarify, like, okay, so my situation is basically, like, yeah, prior to November, like, I was working a full-time job for about, like, 7-8 months, so I saved up a decent amount of money from that, and, like, part of my, like, what I'm doing right now is, like, I'm kind of, like, working off that money to be able to reach my Patreon goal, so, like, I'm investing in myself, and again, like, once I reach that Patreon goal, then that's like again the crowdfunding to end all crowdfunding sort of thing. So I mean, yeah, like, and then and I mean I'm open theoretically to doing some like part-time jobs and stuff like that, but there's enough for me to do within the Paradigm Shift Central community to keep me busy like 24/7 a day, and it is my intention within like the next month that you'll like see things becoming more streamlined, and you'll see some success with the t-shirts, but again, more so than that, you'll see like some awesome content be getting put out there. So I'll be able to manage in one way or another. I mean, again, you know, like this is the universe doing its thing, and I believe and I trust the process and everything. So I just gotta keep going forward. And again, it's something we can talk further about down the road. And yeah, like if anybody, if and when you're able to sign up to the Patreon, I'll be sure to give you a big hug in real life as well, because you guys help make this possible. So thank you so much, because I love you guys. So. Cool.
Okay, Skull, you gotta like get serious and like talk to like your whatever that is for you. Like you gotta get and be like, what is this? Give me the clues. And this is for everybody. It's like you have to like when you have a question, like ask the universe for like specific guidance and listen. I forget to shut off the TV and to do that, or I don't watch TV, but like the internet. You know what I mean? And like get clear and then like follow the breadcrumb trail, and like that's how you figure stuff out.
I have to agree. I'm the same way. It's difficult sometimes, and it's just like you might want to just listen.
Yeah, and I am totally like the basic tactics again are promoting like the shift buttons, the t-shirts, and the Patreon. Like it's sort of those three things, and this is something that I have put a lot of thought into, and I am confident in it. We're just kind of right at the point of the project where we're just going to be stepping into that. So we'll be able to share the success like over like the ongoing part of this process. So I just want to let you guys know that that's part of what the intention is. So yeah, you'll be seeing. We'll sort of be able to see that. Yeah, we'll touch base. But anyways, cool. So we'll pass the talking stick around, and thank you so much, guys, for listening. And we'll pass the talking stick around, and Alina, if you would like to do your introduction and update, and again, just you can share who you are, where you're from, some of the things you're interested in, what the shift looks like from where you are, and how you're helping assist in the shift, and how you're feeling. So it's like 6 questions, but they're all pretty. They blend into each other. So go right ahead.
Awesome. Well, my name's Alina, and then also hi Natalie. I saw your message that you saw through Instagram too. So hey, cool.
That's so cool. But you guys don't know each other, do you?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. We're all one family.
But yeah, my name is Alina. I'm based out of LA. I actually just flew into Dallas because I'm going to school out here. I'm a college student, and I've lived in LA my whole life. And yeah, and then, okay, so name, location, and what I'm doing, what I'm interested in. So I feel like my life's purpose in general is, in a very general statement, is to spread holistic health knowledge through social media. And it wasn't until a few years ago, I was actually a psych major, and I started watching a few documentaries, and I feel like it all hit me at once. I started watching a few documentaries talking about the connection between the fact that our medical system is a for-profit medical system in America, and the fact that I had no idea about, naturopathic medicine, Ayurvedic medicine in India, and so on. And I was learning about all these things at the same time. I met an herbalist and all these things, and I started learning so much about our connection with food and medicine. That really inspired me. So I switched majors. I'm a dietetics major now, and that's all I want to do. After learning that stuff, it scared me, and then it also made me upset because there's a lot of knowledge out there that I didn't know about, but what's more scary to me is that there's cancer patients. There's people that are dying that don't realize that there's a lot of really great there's a lot of great resources that are actually a lot cheaper and a lot more easily accessible that can be great for your health. And I felt like I became more enlightened through that. From there, I started learning about meditation, and right now I'm very, very interested in vision boards. So I love what you guys are talking about with vision boards. I recently made one for the new year, and I'm really excited about it. But yeah, and so that's what I'm interested in, and then what the paradigm shift, I guess, or awakening looks like to me. I feel like for me, a lot of what I've learned about it through, and the way that I'm meeting others, is through social media. So through Instagram, through YouTube, and I'm so thankful for that. And I feel like when it comes to my arena, when it comes to like natural medicine and things like that, it's a complex issue, but I feel like we are so just blessed and lucky to be living in a very unique time that's never been seen in human history, which is an era of information where we can access anything through the internet. And I feel like there are very simple solutions out there, and that's reaching out to community. So yeah, and how am I feeling? I'm feeling excited. I felt really nervous before I started talking. I feel kind of nervous now, but I don't want to talk you guys' ear off, so that is it.
I love what you shared. I love what you shared, sister. I'm so glad that you're
That's
here.
awesome. Yeah, I really like your energy.
You have a beautiful match for the scene.
Thank you
Cool.
very much.
Yeah, do you have like a what are you doing social media wise currently? Do you have like a YouTube channel, or are you doing any stuff like that?
Yes, I actually do
Cool.
have a YouTube channel,
Sweet.
and it's under Alina Alive, and I basically just talk about like my most recent video was just breaking down what is naturopathic medicine for people who might be interested in it. And then also I talk about herbal remedies. I've been talking about essential oils, like for mental clarity and focus. So if you have brain fog, I've talked about, I've had a video on herbal medicine for cold and flu, and talking about how our perception of a lot of the cold and flu products that you get at the store and things like that, a lot of times they suppress the symptoms, but they don't really get to the root of the cause and things like that. But yeah, it's a wealth of information, and well, it's going to be a wealth of information. I have about 6 videos up, and I plan on doing it once a week, and just everything that I learn, I just want it to flow over into the channel and onto my YouTube channel, and just I want to spread the word about it. Holistic medicine. I feel like Awaken people really, the people that I'm talking to, I feel like we recognize that it's almost common sense once you stop and think about it that food is medicine. We are of the earth. Plants are of the earth. And medicine, the type of medicine that's in America, has come up just within the last 100 years, which is a blip of time in the span of human existence. So, yeah.
That's
cool.
it. Yeah, that's awesome, because I'm just on your YouTube channel right now, and again, I'll put other people's. I'll put the links into the information for other people to find as well.
I think I just put one in. I think that's it. I hope it is.
Yeah, that's it too. So, but yeah, I was gonna say, guys, like you have to excuse me sometimes, because there's like so much to this project all at once that I sort of forget to mention the obvious stuff. But a big intention with like what Paradigm Shift Central is, you can think of it as what I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to build like a broadcast team. So like in that sense, like being able to find other people who are already making their videos is really what this is about. Like that's how this project began. It began by me making YouTube videos over, like 5-6 years ago and building my channel. But then it got to the point where I'm just like, okay, like my intention is to be able to help other people be able to help reach an audience too. Like I don't like the idea of it just like being just my channel. Like let's turn this into our platform. So just to give you guys like a bit of an idea, so like anything, so Alina and anybody else, like when you post stuff through the Paradigm Shift Central website, like that will be things that will also forward. First of all, it'll be archived there, which is like a very useful thing in itself amongst everybody else's. And then again, when other people go to the website, based on like one person's video, they're going to find every other person's video, and there's enough on the website already for them to spend like months exploring, and there's a lot of cool content there. But the other part of it is I want to be able to get into the habit of again focusing on Facebook. So I mean, like right now, like the Paradigm Shift Central page on Facebook has 8,000 likes. I'd be curious and excited to see, like, let's set a goal for ourselves. Like, how soon would we be able to get that up to 1,500 likes or something like that, and or even just 10,000 likes, something a little bit closer. And part of what I want to be able to do is to have you guys posting your YouTube versions of your videos through ParadigmShiftCentral.com. But then what we'll do is we'll repost certain videos, if not all of them, through the Facebook page, so that they can be able to be used as a medium to be able to reach more people there, and to be able to grow the Facebook page even more, so that more audience is being created for future posts as well. So like that's kind of the thing that yeah, like I just want to be able to get you guys involved with that idea, that brainstorming. Facebook can be a very finicky thing. Like sometimes you'll like upload a video and it just like doesn't get seen and stuff like that. But I think what can make it effective is when at least a very small handful of us strategically like share certain posts, like collectively, or like, you know, when you see a post up there, like go out of your way to be able to share it and redirect people. So again, you know, like it's what happens when we all start sort of like focusing on building this page together as a team. That's like part of the ongoing question I want to be able to ask. And again, you know, like and working together as a broadcast team. So instead of just like us like going off and doing our own videos but never really talking about them, I think it's fun when we can talk about like certain videos together. We can brainstorm again, you know, the collaborative ideas for future videos. And you know, I was saying to Michelle earlier, and Alina, I'm not sure if you heard, but you know, for example, we have some friends in the community who are musicians, so they've like donated their music. So by being involved with Paradigm Shift Central project, you can access some really cool music to put into the background on your video. And music is a huge thing for like increasing production value of it. You know, a really good song can really draw an audience member in. So that would just be like one example. But yeah, does anybody? I'll just open up the microphone in terms of kind of like sharing video, resharing, re-uploading things to Facebook, the video specifically. What do you guys think about that, or does anybody have any insight on that process?
I want to say that I just looked at Alina's YouTube channel, and I love how you have just styled your videos, and you have like the text and everything. That's super snazzy. I'm Michelle Infinity, so find my channel.
Nice. Okay.
We're like at the same level for sure. I'd love that.
Yeah, great content.
Tony in the chat said, I always wanted to be a part of a broadcast team. Skull, that's a freaking awesome idea. Like just the collective, like a broadcast. I just love it. Like that's very expansive. Like that whole idea itself. And then Tony said, like, I enjoy media, especially when it's transformative. I'm not really sure what you mean exactly about the Facebook uploading the thing. So when you ask that question, I'm not sure
I can explain it again.
What the question is. But I had a thought that I will say. And so we were talking about like making the audience wider, like making it more numbers, which is totally like visually like, oh, it's snazzy. But like I have a question, being Scorpio, how do we go deeper with, how do we engage with people who we already have? Because if I have 500 people on my page, but like I have like 3 people liking things. So it's like, how do I actually talk? I want to know, how do I connect and collaborate with people? Like I do readings. I want to give people psychic readings and have them, you know what I mean? Like I want to help heal people, you know? Like I want to get deep with people and like get them in, you know? And so like, how do we work with what we already have?
When it comes to your YouTube page?
Good question.
What's that, Private?
When it comes to your YouTube page?
Audience in general, I think.
All of it. Like how do we get deep with who we have, and then like by doing that, I feel like the rest will take care of itself, like the rest of the people, because you're creating an energy, a momentum of like, again, loving what you do, being passionate about it, but actually connecting with the people. So it's not just numbers. I mean, numbers look great, but like, what are we actually creating? What are we actually doing? That's important, you know?
Yeah. I'll just say, yeah, like you're right, Michelle. That's a really great point, and it's something that I've said before. You know, like popularity and success are 2 different things, and we really have to keep that in mind. And if we're just focusing on numbers, like, yeah, like it might look good on paper, but you're right. We want the substance and the connection, and I think like that is something that Paradigm Shift has really been successful in the past. Is that, you know, like people continually come back and everything like that, and they have become like a part of the community over the years, and they might like disappear for a year and then they come back and they're like still totally welcome, and it's a really cool format in that sense. Just to give you a little bit of clarification on like the tactics behind why we would be resharing. So okay, so just to give everybody an understanding, the way Facebook works right now is it prefers to keep people on Facebook, meaning that if there's a link that you post as to an external website, such as YouTube, it has an algorithm where it will limit the amount of views that it will potentially reach, opposed to if it's either an image or a Facebook video. So if I were to post the same, if I were to take a YouTube video and post it on a page, and then if I were to re-upload that same video and post it on a page, the re-upload will naturally naturally receive more views, like just based on the algorithm. So in that sense, like since part of the objective is you know, just for people to be able to see the video in the first place, that would be the intention behind like re-uploading content to Facebook, and also to be able to archive it to a degree within Facebook. Does that make sense?
Totally. So instead of posting my YouTube link, I should be uploading the video itself through my page.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's really the tricky part about the social media, because like you almost, you don't want to do that, but it's almost as if you don't have a choice because of what Facebook is doing. Like Facebook is really kind of like, it's a good platform, but it's very like coercive. It sort of like forces us to sort of like adapt to their way of doing things. So I mean, like it's a tricky thing. And yeah, but I mean that would be part of the idea, is again, you know, just to be able to like have your guys' content re-uploaded to the Paradigm Shift Central Facebook page, so that people can recognize the page as a collective broadcast of cool people posting stuff. And I mean, yeah, like Alina, like your stuff, like I would love to be able to like have your permission to like re-upload your stuff, and I mean, if you have an individual page as well, like we can still link that into the post and everything.
By individual page, do you mean like a blog or a website, or
whether it's that or whether it's a Facebook page, one or the other, really. So
okay, that yeah. Totally. And I have a Facebook page too. I wanted to ask Michelle, what platforms are you on when it comes to like outreach for?
I have I mainly use my Facebook page. I'm trying to find you guys again because I was looking at your YouTube, Alina, so I was like lost in the thing. I only started 3 months ago doing videos.
Yeah.
And they look so classy. I'm an artist. I do design. There's like 3 other people in the chat who do graphic design, by the way. So holla to that.
Oh, cool.
Natalia, Cody, also. So I really like the layout and the style. Like it's very classy, and I love the way that you're doing.
I appreciate that.
What's that?
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Do you do it yourself? Do you do your editing?
Yeah. I've been using iMovie, and I just got Final Cut Pro, but I'm still such a learning curve, so I'm just still learning on it. But iMovie. Mostly, for the most part.
So you should do workshops and tutorials for people if you want extra.
Oh, I definitely plan on it.
You need to do that, like, I don't know if Canada has a Craigslist, but like that's how. I mean, again, like you're talking, I can only give you what I have, right? We can't give what we don't have, and I do websites and logos, and that's how I make extra money. That sustains my reading and healing and gypsying around at festivals.
That is so interesting. I actually spoke to somebody else who does logos, and they speak to somebody who wants to start a website or things like that, and they do things that are similar. And I didn't realize that so many people did that, or that people could do that. I don't know why, but that's awesome. That's another source of income.
You're in holistic coach land. So you were asking me what platforms I.
Yeah.
So I just started picking up my YouTube channel again recently because we made a commitment to be a broadcast team, which I wasn't aware of, which I'm totally down with. I didn't get the bigger scope. But I'm like, yeah, totally. I've been healing.
Yeah,
I've been doing that too. What's that?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, yeah, of course. It's so obvious now.
Yeah, so
that's
obvious.
what we were working towards.
Totally. And I have, for everybody, I have a Facebook page called Michelle Infinity Infinite Everything. And my website's infiniteeverything.net. And my whole, purpose is just the thread of infinite everything, like that everything is infinite, like that there's the cosmos behind this world that we live in. So yeah, and so that's what I speak about as the spiritual side. But pretty much in Instagram is actually fancy meeting you here is my other thing because I love art and I love photographs. But I'm not into, like, people like know how to market on Instagram and like I haven't figured that one out yet.
I just wanted to share what I had learned because I feel like I'm obviously not big in it, but the things that I have learned, I feel like they're very helpful with when it comes to YouTube. I feel like asking your audience questions, and not making like a formal thing, but just while you're talking, just asking them, like, oh, I forgot what that was. Do you guys know? And things like that, making it a two-way conversation. I feel like it helps people feel connected. And then something that I've noticed definitely on Instagram is that hashtags are very powerful. People really do look up certain things. Like, for example, with myself, when I was becoming more awakened and things like that, I literally typed in awakened or third eye and things like that, as cheesy as it sounds. But people, there's a lot of people who put those hashtags, and it's a good way to find people. And then also when it comes to not just getting numbers, but finding people that are engaged is finding where do they hang out, you know? And I feel like Tumblr is such an awesome site. Even if you don't grow on it, looking at the people who are on it and seeing their pages and what inspires them and seeing if you can help that flow into what you're doing. I don't know. That's what that's what path I've been trying to go on recently anyway.
Yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
No, I like that we're having a conversation. This is better, I think. This is the conversation. We all talk. Yeah, no, I love it. That's all.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like Tumblr is definitely something that I have the account for Paradigm Shift Central on Tumblr, and that is something that I want to be able to get into. Another cool thing that, again, you know, like the meme images and things like that, I like to sort of think of those as like spiritual snacks sort of thing, you know. It's just like something that somebody can like take a quick bite out of. It doesn't take them a minute to watch or even at all. And one of the things, in addition to like the inspirational quote meme images that we have, is another thing I'll be doing is like animated GIFs of mandalas that sort of go on a loop. So like those are showing up more and more on Facebook and Tumblr, and I know those are really popular. So I know how to do those. So it's my intention to like make a good handful of those and then release those through Tumblr, as well as like other platforms, and yeah, just sort of like have, you know, each, like the Tumblr, the Instagram, the Twitter, like they're all different portals that are eventually like leading people back to the community. So it's kind of interesting to think about how we use them. Like that's really what I sort of think about, is just like, yeah, like how can we create more portals to be able to invite people back into this project. Simple ways and complex ways as well of doing it, but yeah. Any thoughts on that? Otherwise, I was just gonna I had another question for Alina. Sure. I was just gonna say, did you are you using Final Cut Pro 10 or 7?
I think it's X.
X. Okay, yeah, that's the one that I don't have. I was just curious. Did you what's your what's your background in like video making? Was it something you were trained in at school, or is it something you just do as a hobby?
It's something that I do as a hobby. All of my videos on there, though, are all iMovie. I just got it, and I just started learning how to do it. But yeah, it was all I started in high school. I had a film camera in high school and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if that really could reference to now, like what I'm doing now. But honestly, a lot of what I've learned about video editing, I've learned from like 12-year-olds on YouTube. No joke. Like, for example, if I have a question, I just stop what I'm doing editing, go on YouTube and type in the question. And I mean, it's 12-year-olds. There's obviously so many people of every age talking about it. But they reference to other websites that are brand new websites that a lot of times not a lot of people know about yet that help you with editing. Like there's a big website that I use is PicMonkey. I don't know if that's going to help you right now, but that's a website that I also use along with iMovie that helps me to put pictures on in the media or on the screen and stuff like that.
What is it?
PicMonkey.
Okay.
So, yeah, PIC and then monkey.com.
I love the way you spell.
But yeah.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, no, it's it's really, I'm really excited about the idea of like numerous people who have sort of felt the calling to begin making their own videos. Again, because, you know, like I see your guys' stuff and I'm just like, this is cool, you know, like this is something that I feel more people would be inspired to see as well. And again, you know, like really helping be an ambassador for it. That is like what this project is about. So yeah, like I'm definitely looking forward to going through and checking out some of your YouTube channel, and then are we on Facebook, Alina, Alive? Because that might just be an easier way.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up really quick, and I'll put a link.
I found your page for your blog thing.
Oh, okay.
But if there's a profile, because that would just be easier to keep in touch and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to get introduced to like posting on the Paradigm Shift Central website, and then add your stuff to that, you're most certainly welcome.
Yay! I'm so excited to do this because I feel like it's something that I believe in myself, and honestly, I've wanted to do YouTube for over a year now, but I was so self-conscious. I was so like, I don't know. I was just thinking about just worst case scenario, my own worst critic, and then imagining those things in other people's eyes. And it wasn't until a few months ago that I was like, you know what? Carpe diem. But and then I feel like once I was able to release that, I was able to do full force into what I wanted to do, and I really hope to. I feel like I'm still learning on YouTube, and I hope to grow. But let me find the link really quick for you.
And isn't it wonderful that like you run into people and they're like in the same place as you and they're complimenting you, being like, "Oh my God, what you're creating looks beautiful. You've got like a flower of life in your header and like everything looks really classy." And meanwhile,
I genuinely appreciate it. I really do, because sometimes I'll talk about this to other people and they might not know about certain things that I'm trying to express, or they might not have the same mindset. So I really genuinely appreciate you guys' feedback.
Isn't it wonderful? Like you'll never know who out there supports you until you put yourself out there. It's for everybody.
Yeah. One of the things I will say that is going to be a challenge for managing some of the stuff with the community is, again, going back to the Facebook, is going to be like an abundance of content. It will be like I'm going to have to like sort of get in the habit of like how we're uploading videos, because if we upload too many within a certain time frame, then it will like limit the amount that either one of them will see. So I really have to like experiment with like an uploading process, whether it's like one new video a day or like I don't know if it would be 2 videos a day or something. But yeah, like I kind of want to be able to upload like a video at a time, and then like this is a simple technique that I think works right now for getting videos out, is like uploading the video to the Facebook page and then sharing that link into a variety of spiritual groups that we're in. So like there's multiple, so again, pages are pages where just the page admin post content, whereas groups are the ones where like you can see everyone's posts. So there's like so many groups that I'm in Facebook that are just related to spiritual community and stuff. So I think like if we can even collectively, like I mean like theoretically, like right now, one of us, we could grab like a video off the website, off the Facebook page, and like reshare it there, and then we would be able to like observe like how people are responding to it within like a certain amount of time. So I mean like, but at the same time, it's really weird because like I'll give you guys just an example, and this is again, this is so much of this is just like me trying to like study like the science of social media and everything. So the 2016 Evolution Challenge video, I re-uploaded that to the Paradigm Shift Central page, and I shared it in a couple other pages and stuff like that, and its view count is like 385, which honestly is fairly minimal, and that could be a reflection of like the presentation of the content, or it could just be like Facebook being weird. But the other day, like when David Bowie passed away, which is still something we'll talk about within this episode, David Bowie is when I uploaded like a video of just literally like, and I sort of did it as an experiment. It was like a 3-minute video of me just talking about David Bowie and the significance of him being 69 when he died, and some symbology and sort of mystic occult symbolism to it. And that video got like 7,000 views. I didn't share it in too many places. So like I think, and this is something that I may actually have to ask like Preston Smiles about, because I think he actually does this too. I think if I upload content directly to my page, it actually like has more chance of being seen. And part of the reason, because the way that works, is that Facebook sort of limits the outreach for an upload to a page, because they want you to use their their paid features to promote it. So again, like it's this really tricky thing where it's just like you don't want to spend money, but then Facebook's just like, oh, you posted a new video, well, like you should probably spend like $5 or $10 on it, or else it won't be seen. Like they almost like blackmail you into it. It's really weird. So yeah, I'm still.
That's true, the $7,000 Bowie question. Because it was a trending topic, right? So like,
well, that was it too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And that's the other part about social media is like, yeah, like studying like when you can sort of release things within relative to, yeah, trending topics and everything. So, but yeah, like I'm just looking at like Preston stuff, and yeah, like he's got like a
You know
decent
Preston?
following on his face. Preston Smiles? Yeah, yeah. Like he's in Journey to Lucidity 2 and Journey to
Okay.
Lucidity 3. So,
I just like synchronicity. I just started watching him like a week ago.
oh yeah,
And I
yeah, he's
love
awesome.
him. He's adorable. He's got like, I mean, he's very familiar, of course, right? So soul family energy. And I was just like, oh my God, you're like, you're
Totally,
light, and I see myself in you. That's beautiful.
totally, yeah.
Yeah, so that's so cool that you're talking about him.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, you know, like, and we'll just say this, and then I'd like to be able to get back to like introductions, and we'll pass it around to other people in the circle as
Yeah,
well.
people chime in.
Yeah, but again, you know, like I just want you guys to be able to understand that, like, as content's coming in, I feel that like it is part of our job / our duty as ambassadors to be able to help get that content out there. Like it's opposed to just like uploading it to the Paradigm Shift Central page, but then not relaying it through Facebook, like because then it'll just sort of, you know, just kind of like goes underneath the radar kind of thing. So like, yeah, like with your guys' content, with my own content, I just want to be able to explore the effective ways as to how we can, you know, help it reach more people and everything.
You know,
And that's a shared question because there's not one answer to it. Social media is a very complex beast.
energetically, I've noticed that the more heart you have behind something, like, or divine inspiration, or the more like just like you feel something, you get that wave of energy and emotion, like the more people tend to respond to it and see it. Like, by the way, your friggin' meme thing like moved me, like more than the video, like, but that like your dance floor of the dreams, like when I saw that, like I was like, oh, like I felt that energetically, vibrationally in my chest. I felt that. I was like, man, you know, and so it meant something to me. So like that part saw, you know, and when I saw the video, I didn't exactly feel that same expansion. I know, and for me, as somebody who's like super sensitive and super heart, emotion driven, centered, like that's something that I notice is when I'm really like passionate behind something, people respond to it, and when I'm not, it's like almost like a mirror. It's a beautiful mirror. Like I can see like where I'm coming from based on how other people, you know, also receive it. And sometimes not. Sometimes I'm really into something and nobody gets it. Totally fine. Like I'm all right. That happens too. So anyway, so that's my take on it.
Yeah, cool. Anybody else feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Other people. Natalia, is she? I wonder if she's present. She was,
Oh yeah.
hey, girl.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey there.
Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to introduce myself. If this is the right time.
Oh yeah, sure. Let me just say like one final point. You know, like moving forward, guys, like that's more that I would like to be able to brainstorm about. Is that like ideas for videos that have like that would make good content, really. Like that's something that I want to be able to talk with you guys, and whether you have an idea that you want to bring to the circle and be like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about doing this video and I just want to bounce it off you guys, or we sort of work together and say like what would be a cool video. And it's interesting because I think in Facebook land, sometimes like the videos that go viral are like the ones that aren't super produced. You know, they might just be like this candid thing. So I'm gonna be like kind of like going through a backlog of like old videos that I have and kind of like seeing other things that I can find. But yeah, you know, like that's one of my intentions is the idea of that is yeah, just how to be able to create like viral content, viral conscious content. Like that is, you know, something super fascinating to me for the purpose of being able to help accelerate the shift. And just an example, like the Star Wars video that I did, like that was a successful video. Like that video did well. Like that reached a lot of people. So it was, you know, targeting the people who are interested in Star Wars, but then also planting in the seed related to metaphysics and spirituality within the video. So I feel like, you know, like that was kind of like a cool thing. So just as an example and stuff. But yeah, like talking about social media, talking about videos, like that's totally what this project is about. So yeah, if there's no comments, we'll pass it over to Brian, and we'll continue with introductions and updates in that. So cool. I think that's good.
Brian.
So Brian, go ahead. We'll pass it over to you, good sir.
Yes, hello there. My name is Brian Sims, and I'm from Indiana, the state of Indiana. And yeah, I love being a part of these groups. I think it's so important, you know, raising awareness and just sharing this. I'm from another community. I have heard of this community before in the past couple months, and I was very curious on just checking you guys out. And I was like, this is cool, you know. And yeah, I'm part of a community called Hucolo. It's Hucolo, and you can find us like on YouTube. Just type in Hucolo on YouTube, and you'll come up with a lot of different stuff, different videos on. Mostly we deal with different forms of channeling. Are you guys still there?
Yep, we can still hear you.
Okay, cool.
I can hear you, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I deal with channeling and extraterrestrial energies. So I'm big open to extraterrestrial communities.
Cool. What was the name of the channel? Can you spell that again?
Hucolo. Yes, Hucolo. Just type that in YouTube.
Are you like extraterrestrial, like Syrian Arcturian, or like gray and?
All the above.
Okay.
Cool.
And I have a YouTube YouTube account, a site. The picture, I still use the same picture on my YouTube account. So if you type in just my name, Brian Sims, on YouTube, scroll down a ways, and you'll see like a circle, and I have my profile pic, just the same one that I'm using on this Hangout right now. And you'll see and I have like 15 videos up, I think, that I've posted so far.
Yeah, this looks really fascinating. I see Brad Johnson in one of your videos as well. Yeah.
Yes, Rob Gauthier, Gauthier, I think that's how you say it. Brad Johnson, a whole bunch of it. They've joined. They're kind of a part of it, like a branch off, but they do their own thing mostly. It's just like sharing. I love this. What else? I don't know what else to. Yeah, ask me a question, guys, because I don't know.
Can you post website in the chat, or what?
I can't do any posting right now.
I got it.
I'm on iPad.
Okay.
There, go team.
It is Human Colonies. That's what I saw,
yes,
and I was like, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's cool. Brian, what is your take on channeling, and is that something that you do yourself, or
conscious channeling
share that
for the moment? Yes. I do conscious channeling. I'm not really too much into Reiki. I've had it done to me. Just mostly just using my voice. On my website, or not on my website, on my YouTube page, I do interviews with people of like-minded people that are trying to get their information out, their artwork, their music, their spiritual gifts, especially if they're channeling, mediumship, psychic. It doesn't matter. I do it.
This is awesome. This is trippy and awesome.
And so it's just a big. And I met this community called Hucolo a couple years back when they first started, and I was real curious. I was like, I never heard about the channeling stuff. It was all new to me and stuff. I mean, I've heard of Bashar. I think a lot of people have heard of Bashar.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know much about it. And I was like, wow, this is very interesting. What I love about your guys' site is that it's like, it's all bringing awareness. It's all raising vibration. It's all a part of it, So this is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm really interested in Brian, what was your personal YouTube page? You said
Just Brian Sims, and you scroll down. Put on YouTube, scroll down a ways, and you'll see my profile pic. Just
SIMS.
So you said to ask you a question. So you channel yourself, like
there it is.
Conscious channeling, yes.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
What have you learned from your channel? Like, because I know when I hear information, I learn things. So can you share something that you've learned from your conscious channeling?
It's Yeah, overall, it's just being aware. It's just bringing awareness, raising your vibration where you can walk down the street and talk about these things and not feel guilt or shame or that you're not good enough. It's really working on the self more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking at the dark parts of ourself and doing the shadow work and moving beyond fear and doubt.
I hear you there, moving beyond fear and doubt.
And getting into our vulnerability. I mean, I love how Skull here, Brendon, how he's just being so open and talking about, what it takes to really to drive a website and how we're all working together and it's beautiful. It's like this dance, this tapestry, we're forming, and so it's just beautiful.
For sure.
Very inspirational. Anything that raises vibration, that inspires people to speak, to use their own truth, their own voice, is a big plus. And that's what I love about these communities.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, and like going back to the tagline that I added to the website, I boiled it down to the 3 words: create, inspire, evolve.
Yes.
And to me, like, that is what this is about. So, like, creating literally refers to the media, like our own personal creations, but it also refers to like the physical communities, creating those connections. And then, out of that comes inspiration. And I really like the word inspire because I think of like the word spire, which, is like a column. And then that kind of goes back to the idea of like pillars of light, which ties in with like the Jedi theme. So really thinking about inspire in that sense, becoming spires. And then obviously like, evolve is a great word in itself, especially since it has love right in it. So
right.
Yeah.
And I love it. I also love it how it's just when people are so vulnerable, they're so open. It's almost like, here I am. It's like I am that I am. And it's just you're at that state. You're in command. It's not so much about the control. It's about being in your joy, your bliss, your love, your passion. And that's how I loved how Michelle said earlier, passion, because it's so true. It's so true. It's that passion.
Brian, are you
yeah.
Have you signed up for the Paradigm Shift Central website yet?
Nothing like that yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I want to also share. We also do languages. People here, light languages, galactic languages, and we play around with these things.
I love the light language stuff.
Yes, you hear different from the Pleiades, Assyrians, Andromedans, Uyel, Yael, Bashar, the Shikani. It doesn't matter. It's just it's amazing.
It's very transformative.
Yes.
I heard Kate. Do you know Kate Beloved from the 3DL, maybe the redhead woman? I met her in Orlando. Okay. She's so I was like half in, half out. The whole series, like the whole galactic consciousness thing, like took a while to like get to me, but I
But that's the next step. That's the next step.
I totally get it. I'm down. But like,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
That's the wonderful beauty of this, is that this is what the world's preparing for. This is where we raise our vibration, where we can meet them halfway. And I'm not talking just the ones on the planet. I'm talking about our intergalactic, galactic brothers and sisters in space and beyond.
And I have this theory of like ancient consciousness and like that, like a new consciousness, and it's like, and we I guess in today are like the bridge between those two realms.
Yes.
And that's how I see it sometimes.
And because your love, your passion draws them closer. What you put out is what you get back. The vibration, just like you said before. It's that interconnectedness that we're all part of, just not just one planet, but a whole galactic of, just amazing beyond space and time, and how we're all connected. So it's that sharing. That's the big key, is the sharing.
Totally.
And the galactic languages, I can give you a little sample of the languages.
I was gonna ask like how if you could do that, but also if maybe somebody's listening to this who doesn't know what you mean by galactic languages, if you want to explain.
I kind of don't really. I don't want to say it, but
the languages. Think of it as this: in the churches, you'll hear those who call it speaking in tongues. You'll hear an upliftment of people who speak in tongues. It's kind of like a related thing. It's done in a different, in churches they do it for the inspiration of God, whatever you call it, how you view God, and it's usually an upliftment, and it's like you're in that joy, you're in the spirit. So you start, those in the churches, some of them, especially the evangelistic churches, and the Baptists also, I believe, they start speaking in tongues, and it's just an energy wave that comes over them, and it's fascinating. But anyway, that's what, when I first heard about it, I didn't really know what it was. But what happened was, when I started hearing the sounds and people just playing around with it, there was something happened. There was a trigger within me that said, I remember something like this. I just couldn't put my finger on it. But anyway, so I'll just speak some of the languages. There's a couple that I speak. One would be more of what you call Lyran, from Lyra. This is from the Lyra star system. These are called Lyrans. It's a very deep voice. So I guess you could say some sounds, it sounds different. It's a very deep. Let me go into it here. Shukotonwata yasali shaktokotono ishakatia shani niakatawa shakishiata niyakaku totokuata shaninenia katia. So something like that.
Something like that.
Interesting.
And then the other ones would be Palladian, Shakanilia Sakaki, Heya Katihi, Nakia Shakatokoko, Gilia Tanani, Ihi Kikiata Kakakai, Isilia Tadani Katako Watadi, Kakani, Ukoshukotokoatadi, Aleya Kana Kukoashikiataka. And that's just like a Palladian or something. And then you have, what's that? What's that?
I recognize that. Like every time I hear like Kate, that's what I've heard her do. Like it's the freaking frequency.
And
and something that I knew forever. And then I heard her do that, and I was like, my antenna, like literally on the top of my head went up, and I went like I just ding, you know.
And some of this, and this is amazing because some of our ancient history, like Native American and others that go way back, it's very similar. And some of the language, the Portuguese, let's see here, the Spanish, like especially like Asian, the Asian culture has like it's really amazing. They have a dialect, but it sounds certain that comes from the Palladian star system and some others, but it's like a mixture. And you just play around with it. And those who are not sure how to do it, or even those who might be interested in it, you just play around with sounds, and you start to kind of mimic it. And pretty soon you don't think about it; you're just starting to flow with it, and it just comes out.
It's very elven. Wouldn't you agree, Brendon? Because I know you've got some elf in you.
Oh, yeah, I got some elf in me.
So you have the nature, the elementals. You have, let's see here. You have that. Arcturian is a very high pitch, so it's uplifting, like.
Sounds like
So you have
sounds like Diane would.
Yeah.
Maybe they're Arcturian. That would explain something.
That actually probably would explain it. You're right.
So you have different types of these dialogues, and some of them go back to our ancestries here on the planet. So when our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters came down long ago, what we call the star seeds, and they implanted within us these sounds, this vibration that moves people. There's a triggering effect. That's the wonderful thing about the languages. You can play around with it, and it inspires, it uplifts.
Thank you for sharing. That's so
Thank you.
Awesome, expansive, beautiful.
Does anybody else practice light language? Or does anybody want to try practicing light language right now?
I would love to. Wait.
I've done it.
Here's the thing. Before. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Just let it rip. Even if it's a sentence or two, it doesn't matter. You don't have to try to interpret it. Some people can actually interpret it. Well, that's amazing. Within the community, there's people that actually interpret. They can feel and interpreting. Is that how you say it? Okay. Interpret. They can interpret these languages. So it's really interesting.
Go, Lena.
No, I think I'll try next time.
Come on.
I think I'll try next time.
Just a little bit.
I'll do it if you guys don't want to do it.
All right.
Yeah. That's what he said. So.
Well, when I think of it, one of the first places that I think I heard of it was actually in like a Terrence McKenna lecture, and he was like impersonating the voices of like the machine elves. And then, like, it was, like, something exactly like what we recognize as light language. But, yeah, like, light language, I mean, for me, it's just kind of like, it's just kind of, like, intuitive. It's just like, Jaraka Turichimo, Solo Pinta, Cinco Parinco, Sonko Tinkarinka Timpo Simpo Shoka. It's almost kind of sounds like Jabba the
Yes,
Hutt,
you said
but
it.
like
That's a language. Yes, perfect.
But
That's
that
awesome,
was the
Scott.
Lyra.
Yeah,
That was the what was the first one? So
that
there's the lion.
wasn't. I
like a
don't know
lyran.
what that was.
Yeah, like
It
a
could have
lyran.
been. Yeah, yeah. Maybe
Sounds-
actually, yeah. Maybe I'm like part lion or something, which would make sense. Because
Yeah.
like, well, to me that reminds me of Thundercats. And that definitely
Yes,
resonated a
I
lot with
love
that.
that. I used
'Cause
to
there
watch
was a
the
lot.
80s episodes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like esoteric themes in that, and actually, if there are parallels between Thundercats and Paradigm Shift, if you look at the logo for Paradigm Shift, it looks like the Thundercats logo that he has on his sword,
Oh,
and he like
nice. The
holds it
Eye
up
of
to
Omen.
his eye.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Eye of Omen, and then he
Yeah.
says like "sight beyond sight," you know, and "sight beyond sight" is like a phrase that I have used numerous times, and
That's so cool.
and like the Prince archetype of Lionel is like something that I can resonate with as well, and yeah.
And so many wars that they had in the galaxy long ago. They have the Orion Wars, you may have heard of. They've had the Syrian Wars. They've had what you call Orion. What is it? Actually, Lyra. They had Lyra Wars, branch with the reptilians. So these go ancient. They're very ancient. And they go back far. Even possibly billions of years, not just millions.
Are the Lyra people like? Are those Syrian as well?
There's a
lion-
mixture. Yeah, they're called hybrids. They'll have an intermixture of races too. That's why you have a hybridization, so you have them all over the world. And so these ancient races long ago helped the humanity, helped the Homo sapien, helped to evolve. Especially so our most recent infusions to make us look like the tall blondes have been the Pleiadians,
Mhm.
the Nordics. So this is why we, especially like the Scandinavian people, these cultures, this is kind of what we look like.
Alina's heading out. I just want to say bye, Alina, to everybody.
Thank you,
Bye.
Alina.
Cool.
It was
Awesome.
great meeting you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Alina, what's your preferred contact? Like, how would I be able to just stay in touch with you easiest?
Email or Instagram.
You're not on Facebook, is that?
Oh yeah, Facebook too. Absolutely.
Yeah, can you post your profile on the side?
Sure. Yes.
That'd be
I'll
awesome.
post Facebook profile.
Cool. And then yeah, again, like I'd love to be able to within like the coming weeks like feature your content to the community as well. I think it's like I said, stuff like that, like it's good content. Like it's better than a lot of the crap we see on TV. And again, like bring this back to a broadcast station. I'll just say with you guys right now, if you haven't yet on the website, like one of the coolest things about it is the Paradigm Shift TV. So, Alina, I'm not even sure if you've seen this, but I'll just post a link in the side as well. But like when you go to ParadigmCentral.com, click where it says turn on PSC TV. And you'll see there it's like an awesome playlist of like all of the stuff that we've been creating that's randomized, and you flip through it like a channel. So and it's like really synchronistic because you'll like see a video from like 3 years ago, but it'll like have a message in it that will be the right message for you to hear at the time. So
Well, that's wonderful.
kind of
That's great.
cool. Well, thanks again for swinging by.
All right, bye guys.
All right, take care.
Yeah, I better get going too. It's getting a little late for me. But I want to say, Brendon and Michelle, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and you'll see me again.
We hope so because
And yes, I was before I go, Brendon. Yes, you have my permission if you want to upload it in my videos, so it's cool.
Cool. That's awesome. And Brian, if you want to sync up with the website and make your own posts there,
Okay.
that will help streamline things as well.
Okay.
So yeah, if you just go to ParadigmCentral.com and then just like sign up as well. And are you on Facebook too, Brian?
I'm working on stuff like that. Yeah, not yet.
You're not on Facebook?
I am, but it's kind of like messed up right
Okay.
now, so I'm just trying
Okay,
to
cool.
reorganize
All right, well,
it.
there is a messaging system through the Paradigm Central website,
Okay.
so that's like our own Facebook. So yeah, if you sign up through there, then I'll at least be able to keep in touch with you that way. So
Cool, thank you.
I'll look
And
for it.
Michelle, did you want to say something?
Oh, I didn't, but I'm gonna subscribe to your Hoopalo channel right now. Is this your only channel, the Hoopalo?
Yeah, that's my only channel, Brian.
Okay,
Yes.
great. I'm Michelle Infinity, and you can
Okay.
subscribe to YouTube that way.
All right. Well, for all of you on here, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Gratitude.
thanks
brother.
again, Brian, for
Thank you.
sharing your light language with us and everything. So
Thank you.
cool. All right. Awesome. Okay, well, it's just past the 11:11 Stargate, and yeah, feeling pretty good about things. I think an exciting thing about these team meetings is yeah, just kind of like bringing us back into that space of shared inspiration, and definitely feeling it. So it's awesome to be able to connect with you guys in doing so. So we do have who? Sorry, I should know this, but who is Headhunter is with us in the Hangout. Who is Headhunter? I know that's someone who's been here before. I just can't remember exactly who it is. If they wanted to unmute themselves and say anything, feel free. Um, if they're not here, that's totally cool. But yeah, we can still go around.
Natalia, I think, wants to speak.
Sorry?
Natalia, I think Natalia is very.
That's what I was going to say. Natalia, did you want to say hello to the internets?
Your microphone, Natalia.
Yeah. Go ahead whenever you're.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, I'm from Mexico, and I'm not really good in English, but I'm trying to understand everything you say. And I don't know how I get here. I just saw it on Instagram as Alina, and I don't know. I came here and I just been hearing about you and your stuff and your videos, and I really like what you do. And I don't know. I'm really nervous.
Are you Charlotte? Are you in Mexico now?
Yes,
Yeah. Where?
in Monterrey.
Cool.
Yes.
Where is that? Is that west or middle or south? Either?
It's on the north of Mexico.
North.
Yeah.
And what do you do in the world?
Right now I'm studying graphic design, and I like to do yoga and
Awesome.
yeah.
Very cool, very cool.
But I don't do videos and anything like that.
Have you ever thought about doing videos?
A long time ago, yeah, but then I didn't. So
How come? What kept you from doing it?
I don't know. I didn't really know how. Well, I didn't know what to do the videos. I didn't know what to say or do. I just didn't.
You
Yeah.
didn't know where to start. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I think, with the videos, I always like to remind myself that it's really just about practice. So, I mean, like, I would definitely encourage you if like when you feel the time is right to like try filming stuff, even if you're not even sure if you're gonna post it. Just like talk to the camera as if it's like your diary, and then sort of see what happens. And you might be surprised, but at the very least, like that could be a valuable tool for you as well to be able to practice like that form of reflecting out loud. I really value that aspect of owning a camera and stuff. So. Yeah, but I mean, everybody has a voice to share. Everybody has a story worth sharing. Like that's a part that I love. So I mean, yeah, like to be able to like encourage yourself, Natalia, anyone else to be able to make videos, I would definitely say like go for it. At some point or another, go for it. And especially like you said, if you're involved with like yoga and mindfulness, that's like some really interesting topics there that I'm sure you would be able to share on. And I mean, would it be something where like, would you be more comfortable doing it like not in English for you? Is it because it's in English that you're like a little hesitant about it? Do you think?
Yeah, maybe that, because I get really nervous with the words and everything. So, but I could try. Yeah. Because
What?
I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
When you were talking about your videos, and Alina says that she was nervous at first, but then she was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And that really like inspired me to try something. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, your native, like your first language is it Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like maybe doing videos in Spanish is like a good place to start, because I mean, you know, there's people who you'd be able to reach like within, even just like people through your own network who also speak Spanish, but talking about topics of mindfulness could be
Yeah.
a really awesome way to sort of like get other people opening up and talking to you about some of those ideas and stuff. So I mean, I wouldn't even assume that you have to do it in English. You know, like if doing it in a way that's comfortable for you means doing it in Spanish, like I would still love to see that, and then I would still be, you know, I'd be willing to like help like create like a translate version of that as well, just to be able to help give it, you know, more of an audience as well.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
That's cool.
Fit into the paradigm shift, because that way we can have like Spanish and Mexico like represented, because it's really about like
Multi-language.
for sure.
Yeah, like I love that idea of having, you know, again, like the broadcast team as people kind of reporting on the shifting consciousness from all over the world. And so, I mean, having different languages, I think is something totally natural to open up to. So yeah, like I would love to be able to, you know, brainstorm and collaborate and give you any feedback to help you with that. That'd be really cool. Like, do you like you practice yoga? You said?
Yeah, I practice like every day,
Cool.
stuff like that.
Cool. How has yoga like helped you, or like how long have you been doing it?
Well, I've been in yoga for a few months, like 3, 4 months, but I was like really nervous and I have like anxiety and all of that. So I have like calmed down with the meditation and all of that, and I start reading. And I think like it's not so much about the body and feeling better. It's more like something inside that I felt better. Like I felt like I could do better things, and like in when you're trying to do new stuff in yoga, you think like I'm not going to do that. I mean, you think you're not going to get that to that top, but then when you get it, you're like, okay, if I could do that, I can do whatever I want and whatever I I purpose myself to do, you know?
Hmm.
Oh wow.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I have to set some time to get back into yoga. Like I really enjoy doing yoga, because it is like it's sort of it's you know, finding your limits and then like sort of like slowly helping them grow. You know, you notice that progression of like a simple stretch, and even just where like you think you're at your limit, but then you just like slowly move like a muscle a different way, and then it opens up the posture in like a whole new dimension, which I think is like a really interesting like metaphor for life as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's good to hear that yoga has been helpful for you as well. So yeah.
yeah, thank you.
And I they need to like they need to hear that. I mean, I don't know what the Mexico yoga scene looks like at all, but I think that would be very shifty for you to speak up and be like, I had all this tension inside emotionally, and
Yeah.
that helps, you know, to be a voice, a conscious voice, because I think that's the broadcast team. Like that's what we were talking about earlier. That's our purpose, is to like remind people that breathing is better than medication. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
and I have seen like in Mexico, and I mean YouTubers and all of that, they don't talk like about this and spiritual things, not much. So I think it's missing that in here in Mexico, or because I haven't seen like a YouTuber that talks about this like in like a Spanish. So I think yeah, it's missing something like that.
Well, that's yeah, like it sounds like, you know, there's definitely some like really awesome opportunity there for yourself and other people to be able to help like kind of be the, you know, the pioneers in that, or at least be able to help get the ball rolling. But yeah, you know, like in terms of a video, like I mean, I'm not sure if you saw Alina's links to hers you know, hers are fairly well edited with graphics and stuff. Don't you know, in terms of the videos that we're posting through the Paradigm Shift Central broadcast network, they can be like totally very simple and raw, and just you talking to a camera for a few minutes, just even just like introducing yourself, you know, like you can start with that and just be like, you know, like go sit outside under a tree, bring a camera with you, or like even just film it on a phone, if that's how you can record it, and just like, you know, just say hello. And I think like that's like, it's really just about being able to begin that practice of becoming like more familiar with what we're like in front of the camera, because then it gives us like more room to sort of explore different ways as to how we can be in front of the camera. You know, like there's multiple different aspects, like sort of not like there's multiple different like degrees and colors of each and every one of us, and I think the camera is an interesting way to sort of bring out all those different colors. I mean, you know, from just using my own videos as an example, it's like, you know, in the most recent one I posted, it was like pretty high energy and stuff, but then I've had other videos where it's like been like very you know, like very like emotionally personal videos as well. You know, there was a video that I posted that back in the day where it was like me talking about like Robin Williams' death, and it was like me like crying on camera, and it was like this super raw thing. But you know, again, I think people like that rawness because sometimes, you know, I think when people see like the professional videos, they almost get this idea that they're like that in some way that person might be hiding behind the editing of the video. But if you just put out like a raw video, so to some people that's actually like more appealing, because we see that human element that sometimes is stripped away when we get like too flashy with our videos and stuff. So yeah, like a raw video would be a great way to begin exploring that for yourself. So yeah, what do you guys think? Or
So I actually want to kind of steer and play your microphone on mute. So I think you mentioned Robin Williams. We have to close by
with David Bowie.
David Bowie, which
Tesla.
I had Tesla. I had an intergalactic thought this week that I'm going to bring up. Isn't it funny? Because I'm having a similar reaction. Like, I actually wasn't in that with Robin Williams. I was like very moved because I felt like a very kindred spirit with Robin Williams, but I also felt the ripple effect more outward, like that everybody felt Robin Williams. Collective side. They both played aliens, and were both like, you know, because Ziggy Stardust was from another galaxy dimension, and like David Bowie's thing is like he was intergalactic, and Mork was, you know, Robin Williams' thing.
That's right.
And they left within like a couple years. Like David Bowie got sick, I think, 2 years ago, which is like when, this is like what my thoughts in my bathtub, which is like when Robin Williams left was like 2 years ago, right? So I was like, that's connected. They're connected, and they're from my soul family. So I don't know. So I want to talk about that before we close here. Is that David Bowie and Robin Williams are aliens, and they were light leaders. Downloads through their comedy and their music in there.
Mm. We were just talking about David Bowie, Natalia. I'm not sure if you heard us.
No,
yeah, but
I'm sorry.
there she is. Hey.
Hi.
It's nice to see you.
Do you know who David Bowie, Natalia?
What?
Bowie. David Bowie.
Ah, yeah, I liked it. I like him, but
I like it.
yeah.
Natalia, I like your earrings. Are those,
thanks.
did someone make those?
Yeah, it's made by I don't know how to say it, but artesano.
Yeah.
And it's
crystal.
Yeah.
Quartz.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's from a guy from Guatemala.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool.
And I like your moon too, like on your picture. Like I was like wanted you to speak actually was because I saw the giant moon and I'm like, God, it's a giant moon.
Wasn't Alina wearing a moon necklace too? I don't know. I'll have to like go back and check that now. I feel like she was. I can find this out in a minute, but no, that's funny though.
So let's talk about Bowie.
Well, I was just gonna say before we talk about Bowie, Natalia, was there anything else that maybe even any questions that you wanted to ask related to like maybe any video stuff that you might be thinking about doing or anything? Like, does that what do you think?
No, I just wanna ask one more time, like, what is this all about? I mean, I understand that it's a site where you want to like join different YouTubers and reach different people from around the world. It's what it is, right?
Yeah. So that's part of it. So it's yeah. So that's the thing. Like this project is evolving in quite a few directions, but it's a few things. So on the main website, like when you explore there, like you'll see like it's about people posting and everything. But the project at its core, in addition to media, is also about encouraging people to create physical paradigm shift communities. And the paradigm shift communities are, for example, we have a meetup group. We have a paradigm shift community where I live here in Canada, and every Friday we meet up and we have open-minded discussion and meditation circles. So it's also being able to encourage people to be able to help create paradigm shift communities where they are, to create open-minded discussion and meditation circles where they are. So that's kind of like the two primary objectives, is to create paradigm shift communities and to create media. But like opposed to just trying to create a community, like it's also just about like encouraging people to be able to help shift consciousness in whatever way that resonates with them. And sometimes like it's not just about like building specifically a physical paradigm shift community, it's also just about planting seeds with people who you talk to in your day-to-day life. And just like spreading compassion and promoting mindfulness and encouraging each other to sort of do that in, you know, creative and even artistic ways. So, and we've been doing it for a few years, and there's like 50 communities across the world and a whole bunch of people involved, and we come back here every now and then and touch base and keep doing stuff. And then our videos, some of our videos are specifically about our communities as well. So there's like videos that you can find on the website that are like inside the paradigm shift meetings that happen where I am. And then this is something that like all began as like a club inside my college like 6 years ago. And that's really like, so it started off as a single club of me and my friends talking, and then I started filming videos of it, and then eventually we started doing like online broadcasts, and I started to say to people like, hey, you know, like this works, like you guys could create a paradigm shift community where you are too. And then other people started doing it, and it's just kind of continued to evolve from there. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
Cool.
I think it's
Cool.
really great what you do and what you're all trying to do. What you're doing right now.
Cool. And thanks for asking too, because yeah, like I want to be able to make sure that, you know, the message is still getting across, and yeah, there's still a lot of content coming through. So yeah. Cool. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah. Like, Natalia, do you have Facebook? Are you on Facebook? Can we?
Yeah. Let me get the link.
Okay. Yeah. If you can post that, then
Yeah.
I'll connect through there as well. Cool. Yeah. And then if you have any other like questions or anything about any video making when you are looking to do it down the road, you know, I'd love to be able to help you with that in any way. And I mean, like, and with the website, it's not even just about video making. It's also just encouraging people to just do like writing in general. So, you know, like that's where like the quest journals, like sometimes they're literally just written stuff. So like I would encourage you to go to the website and like read some of the stuff that that like either Michelle has posted, or we have a couple of the other girls. Like,
so I could like write like quotes or things that I want to share to people and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it generally, like it might be something where it'd at least be maybe like a few paragraphs, but yeah, it could be like a story about something that you've learned. It could be also like a dream. Like we have the quest journals are a place for people to write about their dreams. They're a place to write about like a reflection, an intention, to share their art. But yeah, like really giving them a place to be able to share their story for themselves, but also to be able to help, you know, when other people see their story, it's gonna like inspire those people to be like, wow, you know, there's a real this like spiritual journey, and they're sharing it openly, and that inspires me to continue on my path.
Oh,
So
good.
that's kind of the idea behind
Do it in
it.
Yeah,
Spanish.
'cause I really love like writing and all stuff.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I'll
I'm looking
post a
at your
link in the side.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Go,
your
go ahead,
Facebook
Michelle.
page, and you're already doing it, and it's beautiful. Like I'm not can't I because it's the energy behind it. Like I was saying, like the energy. Like I look at your Facebook page, and the picture of the girl swinging, right, is gorgeous, and I can tell that whatever you wrote is like beautiful. So I'm just like, so do that on his site as well, and it's gonna add so much color and glory to have like Spanish and everybody else who speaks Spanish in the States, otherwise in South America and everywhere in the world, because Spanish is everywhere, you know, are gonna be like, yay, you know, and
Mhm.
that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull up
beauty
a.
everywhere. Spread it.
Mhm.
Hold on. I gotta turn off this light.
Oh my goodness, is that
Tops.
the man in the legend himself? Is that a Jimmy? It's a Jimmy and a Jeremy. There's both in here.
Hey, what's up?
Natalia, just to finish on what we were saying, I'm just posting a link into the
Okay.
chat. That's a blog post entry from one of the other females in the community. So if you want, you can just kind of like read that just as like an example of like
Okay.
what somebody could write, sort of thing. So yeah, and then you can like see other ones there and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you too. Cool. Hey Jimmy. Hey Jeremy. How you guys doing? Yo.
I'm doing good.
You guys
How's
like
the
literally
hangout?
got here at the same time. Good, man. We've been going up. We're probably going to be wrapping it up soon. You guys joined us just in time. I think we were going to finish off by wrapping up about talking about David Bowie. So,
Oh, cool.
how much of an alien he was.
What's going on?
We're just going to talk about David Bowie before we wrap things up, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Gotta talk about Bowie.
Yeah.
I got my Bowie notes out right
Do you
now.
really?
I'm ready.
Yeah, one of the things you know, related to Bowie, like, you know, Michelle was talking about like how he was like playing the role of like an alien, and even like Robin Williams sort of had that parallel as well with Morton Mindy. But one of the things that really stood out for me is that like David Bowie actually plays Nikola Tesla in the movie The Prestige, which was like a movie from a few years ago, which I think is like
Huh.
super in sync. And his birthday is actually only like a few days after Tesla's and stuff, which is also like really interesting. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very interesting.
yeah. But yeah, Michelle, what else did you want to talk about related to David Bowie?
Probably an alien.
Probably. Well, even there's like a
You know-
quote where I think there was a quote, I can't remember how it went, but his response to like somebody asking him something, he was just like, oh, I'm just visiting here.
Right.
Like I don't think he was. But I mean, like, you know, like what, like, is he like a? Like that's the thing. Like I don't think you have to be an alien to be an alien. Like I think he was just like someone who was kind of open up to like cosmic consciousness sort of thing.
It's just
Like,
like,
sort of-
time to go back into the other dimension.
yeah.
But maybe more tapped into the other world than human, and maybe that's why he portrayed it and felt like an outsider, because he was more like, in a way, more evolved, or just more like filled with that energy and light versus like the mundane, you know, which is why he was such a leader and like skyrocketed to.
Mhm.
'Cause it's all purposeful.
Yeah, and you know, like I think looking at David Bowie, like there's a lot that we can sort of look to him for inspiration, but also like, you know, to see him as an example of like what he was doing in his time, you know, being a rebel, pushing cultural norms, and I think like that's a pretty parallel to what we're doing as
Yes,
well.
yes.
You know, he was the shifter of his age.
For sure.
continued to be throughout like his entire life. Like, you know, there's an article that I posted, and it was talking about how, you know, he's like openly interested in, you know, like studying like the Kabbalah and like, you know, studying like stuff related to like Aleister Crowley and Golden Dawn and everything like that, and subtly working it into his work and stuff. So like for me, like what I really admire about Bowie, which is like something that I aim to do with my media, is to really be a bridge between mainstream culture and like conscious culture, if we want to call it that. Like that's where like I want to be able to make more videos that will reach people who may not totally be into the topics of like spirituality and metaphysics, and still engage with them and like plant a seed in the process, you know? Like that's why I think media is like really interesting, and that's what I feel is like a big part of one of our objectives is how can we reach more of the mainstream audience to like put those, you know, those different ideas into the mainstream to plant those seeds.
Well, like the Wachowski brothers, like in Hollywood and such, like they're already doing it. And I feel like that's I feel
The
like,
Wachowskis, yeah.
right?
Oh, totally.
Wachowski siblings. Wachowski siblings.
Yeah,
Yes.
speak of gender role thing, right? What's another trippy parallel? You know, I've heard that before. I've heard that is
I think that's pretty tricky.
more to that androgynistic, the balance of the masculine and feminine, but like the oneness of it, right? The Shiva Shakti, the half. Remember that like half graphic that came up with like half Shiva, half Shakti? And I don't know. It's just that's like the direction that we're headed in about like a billion years of evolution. That we're all, but we already are that half. Yeah, just some people wear the mask on feminine on the outside, like a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what I was saying about Bowie from the conversation before we went was that it's interesting to me the reaction that I'm having to his death. Like I'm like a missing friend, and like it's like unraveling slowly. And I think that it's interesting to talk about death and how when people leave the planet, it's almost like that they spread out like everywhere. And like your friend, were we online when your friend had that poster and the Nikola Tesla and that like it was just like that parallel where like people pop in everywhere once they leave the planet. It's like their consciousness turns into everything. And just to throw it back to exactly what you said, I think that we all have that objective of like the reason why I started with graphic design was because I was going to put ancient alchemical symbols into like advertising. That was like my first thought of like what my mission was on the earth.
Of course.
I was like, and then like when I met all of you guys in 2012, I was like, oh, people are like down with sacred geometry. I thought it was just me like reading the Hermetic Kabbalah at my like design job when I was 22. So I think that and that's like another thread that I noticed was like everybody's like my thing, like infinite, like there's space and then there's everything, which is like the mundane. I see a lot of people have that like. We all got that like memo of like we have to be the bridge between the intergalactic and like, the people who aren't turned on at all. And I definitely feel, and I think this is where you and I vibe so much. We have that symbiotic. That media is the way that that's going to happen by creating media.
Yeah.
And conscious content.
Yeah,
that's our gift to the world. That's how we're going to bring them through. That's the only way that that's going to happen. And that's going to be needed.
Yeah.
Much in the next few years, like as the other world gets darker and darker, like we need to be the light in that way. So.
Yeah, and that's where like, you know, like even thinking about you know, just thinking about like where paradigm shift could be in a year from now, like what happens when like more people become familiar with it and start sort of like putting their attention to it in this centralized way of like seeing all this inspiration coming out of it, and also like a voice of, you know, perhaps in some cases like a voice of reason, but also like a voice of inspiration and encouragement and like pointing us towards something. Like, you know, a big thing for the Paradigm Shift project that I think really makes it cool is our like group meditations, our guided meditations, you know. Those always bring in like an interesting amount of people, and like that will be something that I'll like set another one up for that eventually. But you know, like that's like a really cool thing, and at the very least, like that could be a motivation behind like building our audience to like give people that opportunity to be a part of these global meditations that we'll be doing in, you know, like even a year from now, because like through that meditation it provides them with that experience, which I think an experience will leave more of an impression than just like a fancy video. So really like providing them with that too. And again, that sense of community.
Yeah, I'm seeing sound healing as something that I could provide, and that we could have like a group sound healing, like meditation, and you could even do yoga as well in there. But you're right, like a visceral experience and people coming together with the same intention of praying and themes. It's just like circles, like Kapacha, like the astrologer, like one of my teachers now, and like. He says like circles are so important, and gathering circles is like the way of the future, for sure. So if you can be out there creating circles, that's what you need to be doing.
I just got back from a sound healing.
Tell us about it.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. There was we had sort of a one of the cool things about it was I have some drawings that we were kind of like sitting and drawing and getting into our own realm. But man, it was, I don't know what it is. There's so many things to say actually, but I kind of going along with the theme of what we're talking about, like media and such like this. I came up with this. We came up with this crazy story that we were telling each other about the early '90s. And my friend, who was hosting the sound healing, it was pre-recorded ambient music by the meditative, emotional kind of thing. It was more like clever, conversational. A lot of electric lights, and everyone was kind of half meditating.
Oh, we're still going?
Wrong with the lights.
Yeah.
You guys can hear me, yeah? Check. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, I just want to make sure that we didn't lose like the live broadcast, so things are still recording. So yeah, glitch in the matrix. We're all good. Still here. Still breathing. So go ahead. Continue.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Good. I don't know. There's a lot to say. There's a lot to say. I like took notes of my experience. So, but
Go ahead and read something.
What was your experience of? I didn't hear that.
I can read. Okay, we came up with this movie, and we were like laughing about this movie, and it's all based around my friend who's kind of androgynous, and she's film, and it's about her like early raver days, and then in the mid '90s, and like how if she could do it over again, she would like take over the world with like her secret knowledge that she has now or whatever, and go back then and like. Go back to 1995 or 1997 and like, you know, do all these crazy things. If you knew now what you knew then, kind of stuff. And
I would have changed the rate a lot.
Yeah, but that was the whole point. Is that it was like it's a very innocent time, you know, in the mid '90s for the rave scene, and we were like lamenting how like the down tempo side of raves has kind of disappeared, and so we were kind of just having a down tempo like a chill out. And good music and just crazy weird light show. Like the guy had this huge machine that we were all sitting in front of that was just spinning lights, and you were just it was like looking at a fire.
Oh, awesome.
Which I think is kind of important to have a conversation, is to have some sort of centerpiece where everyone can look, everyone's eyes can sort of gaze. You know that when you're gazing at that, it's like you don't have to worry about what's going on. I think meditation and conversation can be kind of like that. That's why meditation is having conversations with meditation, it can be really key, because you know at any point you're feeling like you just want to close your eyes and not have to interact with people. You can do that, right? And when the lights are low and you have the crazy like light shows or a fire or the music, it can kind of facilitate a more honest space where people are just relaxed and willing to, you know, kind of go into their own personal space with other people at the same time. But I don't know if I want to read this now, but it's basically about this person. She thought she had this idea back in her raver days that she was gonna make a website saying like askjesus.com or askgod.com like as like a website, and then she was gonna like blackmail like conservative Christians everywhere to try to like racketeer them to try to like take down this website, because it was just gonna be like a website that's just like a picture of Jesus, and you just type in a question and then it would just give you like heinous sins, you know, and that was kind of one of the premises of it. But then like we had this idea that like it would actually start to like communicate like divine messages, and like at first it was just an attempt to like troll like conservative Christians, to like try to like racketeer them to like, you know, it's like you know like I'll take down this website if you give me $1 million kind of thing, you know, like that kind of that was like the hopes. But we decided that in this movie that the website would actually take on a consciousness of itself, and you would go to this website and be Jesus, and you would ask a question, and it would actually like give you like the right answer or whatever, and like it would like backfired on the like cynical raver girl that she was or whatever from that time period. I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting. It was an interesting like beta movie script, but we were just having fun with that. It was pretty cool.
Did you guys like the story like around the fire, around the electronic fire? Like, did you guys?
Yeah, there was a really big electronic. There's this huge like, it was a turntable actually, and it had this huge like light display that was turning, and like the lights were like spinning and flashing. You could like look right into it, and it was just
Awesome.
It created like this like everyone was sitting very close to this turntable spinning and just creating all these light effects, and there was this music, and it was very relaxing, and it was very I feel like, again, this is another like blessing that I don't know how to feel about. I'm just like, oh, what am I doing with all these blessings? It's like I see all these amazing videos on YouTube and such and different things, and I hear amazing music, and I'm just like, oh, what do I do with this? Like, how am I supposed to feel about this? Am I supposed to just be like, oh, you know? This is the most amazing thing ever. Like this one fractal video I saw earlier just really moved me. So amazing. But there's so many different pieces of media like that, and I think one thing I would like to think that to consider as like media makers that we all are, like in movie and music and YouTubers and such. A lot of you guys are YouTubers and such. What is the desired impact on the person? You know, like it's hard to predict, right? And I guess going back to David Bowie talked about how like the mid ground between what the artist makes and then how the audience perceives that. The middle area is totally chaotic, but that's actually where the light is, right? And you can't predict that, you know. That's where the real deity is, right? The real consciousness, and it's hard to predict. But I think when I make media, I try to feel out that space.
Wow.
Because I find it a lot of times my problem with absorbing good media is it's almost like I'm so saturated in good media that it's like, what is the thing what's next, right? Like it can be kind of baffling, and sometimes I don't react as the way I want to really insightful material where I'll see something super insightful and I'll be like, oh, and be like, oh, Hare Krishna, you know, something like that, right? Like this one sitar fractal video that I was watching just like blew me away, you know. So you know, it's like, how am I supposed to respond? Like, I guess I don't know. It opens up a whole other can of worms. Is there supposed to respond? There's not, right? But that light in between kind of guides you. So between the artist and the audience and such. But yeah, I guess just I don't know, getting in touch with that Bowie light from within.
The Bowie within. Yeah.
There's actually an interview where he makes that direct. You can find it. It's where is it? Is there a way to post?
Yeah, you can post in there's a chat on the right, or you can post in the main website chat, whatever works. I will just say, guys, let's aim to finish this up maybe in like less than 10 minutes actually, and then I might still be able to get a workout in, or maybe I'll just go to sleep. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to go to the second.
It's midnight.
But that was beautiful. I just want to say, like, even though Jeremy just froze, that was totally perfectly awesome. And like I love when these conversations come full circle, because he's like we create the content, and then there's a space in between, which is like what we were talking about all freaking night, right? And that's where the light is. So like, can we imagine while we're creating this, like what that will look like to the observer? Like what will be between the transition? So I love that so much. There was something else that he said that I wanted to touch on, but I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome, Jeremy. Thank you for your sharing. For sure.
Oh, thank you
Thanks, Jeremy.
for here and being awesome, everyone. You guys are so cool.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Except for that one in the corner over there. That's me.
Jeremy, we didn't get an official introduction from you, but I'll just mention, like, Jeremy, in addition to being part of Paradigm Shift London, where I am, Jeremy was also one of the artists who's providing some music for really, anybody in the community to be able to use, which I think is super awesome. And like the most recent video that I did, the 2016 is Evolution Challenge, like that's his music in the background. And I'm using it in the next video too. So yeah, thanks, man. Like he makes really cool like ambient tracks and lots of other stuff too. So
yeah, That's what I do. I don't know. That's like my hobby. Yeah. So.
What's your?
If anybody wants like a piece of music written for their video, I'm happy to write something. So
I would love that.
Write it. I can write it for you or whatever. But I mean, yeah. So
I was just thinking of that before. It's so funny. Like before this call, I was thinking about my intro, because I like to choose different music for each one. That's like because I was listening to David Bowie, you guys, and that's and like that. I was listening to the Heathen album, and I was listening to the Moby remix of one of the songs that, if I can even think of, it was, I can't remember, I can't see it right now, but anyway, it's on the Heathen album, it's the Moby remix. It's not the one by Air. And there's this part where it gets really like, everything must change, and I was thinking like, oh, that would be awesome, and then I'm like, well, it might be too heavy for the intro, and then I'm like, will I ever get a consistent intro? Will that ever happen? So, brother, if you want to create something,
I can. What's the song name? I'll download a little, as Brendon would call them, pro tips. Pro tip for media kind of stuff. You can download. You guys might not know this, but you can download MP3s off of YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so if you can, So what is the song name? And I can get the sound clip and I can mess with it if you want.
That would be hot if I had a David Bowie like remix for my thing with all of this. That would be amazing and totally psychedelic to the star systems that we all.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Let me go look at the name of the song, but oh wait, I have my phone here.
Yeah, you can if you don't have it right now. Like I'm trying to find this other video and I can't find it.
I just posted my channel in the it's Michelle Infinity. It's YouTube and then Michelle Infinity TV. So if you want to find my YouTube, and what's your Facebook?
I'm Jeremy Stewart Pepper Gallagher.
I'll post a link for it. I got it.
Pepper's my mom's maiden name. So.
It's called Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
By David
Sunday Moby remix by David Bowie on Heathen.
All right. If you type in David Bowie interview internet. If you type in, I'm just gonna put in the keywords, and that's where he talks about like the space between the audience and the. I found it. I'm very happy with myself. You type in those keywords up there that is posted, you will find the video where he talks about that and the rave scene and stuff like this. He was kind of doing what he does best.
Awesome. Jeremy, I just recognized you from your comment, from your thing.
Yes, from Canada. Yes, that's me.
Represent. Yes. That's so cool to meet you. That's so awesome. I really
Yes,
like that.
here we are. Here we are. Yes.
That's
Right, it
beautiful.
looks kind of the same. It's just like I've lived in the United States. It's just like the U.S. except no Republicans, basically. And big,
that we know of.
and
Wait, what?
Canada and the U.S. is like the same place except there's no Republicans. That's kind of how I think of it. It's like if imagine the United States without any Republicans, and that's kind of like it's like.
So everybody's laid back?
Yeah, more people are more laid back. Like I talked my way out of a possession charge the other night, just smoking bongs in the park. Like
That works.
so, I mean, like in the U.S., I feel like that wouldn't have happened. I would have gotten
No.
trouble. So,
Well, it depends where you were, what city you were in.
Yeah,
because they're nice.
I don't know. That's kind of a maybe neither here or there kind of thing, but.
Is this, which interview is it? I see two videos. There's David Bowie on the internet in 1999 or the Jeremy Paxman?
I think that they're both the same one.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay.
Yep, that's the one. And so the David Bowie song is, yeah, I don't like, you know what? I just broke one of my golden rules when talking about anything is not to use comparisons as the main point of reference with Canada and the U.S. So, I don't know. Yeah.
I think it was fine. I think it worked.
It's an old joke. It's an old joke that I need to let go of because I'm really trying to embrace and love even people that I ideologically have a hard time with. So.
Oh my God, me too lately. Like forgiveness.
Hard.
Spirit has been in my face about forgiveness. That's next week. Topic.
That's probably why. Yeah, that's probably why that didn't feel good coming out. That joke that's an old joke. I should retire it. So.
Skull, I want to say one more thing about David Bowie and our content. I want to say that, no, like, I mean, this is just a weird thought. You know how you want to create different content? Something I noticed about David Bowie is that he was, or I heard from some of the funny pictures, anyway, he's very innovative, and, like, before the things, like, because I just read that video, and it was, like, he predicted the future of the internet, so, like, if we want to, that means that we have to brainstorm things that are new ideas to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and be innovative. So we have to be like David Bowie, basically, is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say. We have to
Yeah, that's actually something I've been finding. As someone who's like devoted their life to not being devoted to anything, I'm really lacking on the vitamin D for like, and it really helps with my art in a certain way. Like just care that much more, right? And getting emotionally invested in art is no one's gonna get emotionally invested in my art if I'm not, you know. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, totally.
So but I feel like I've explored the path of being a non-devoted sort of pacifist, objectivist kind of, you know, arm's length kind of person, and now I have to sort of, just kind of like draw some lines in my own sand, you know. So.
Yeah, I hear you too.
Hard for me because we're so used to being so free. We don't want to be limited by these little things, you know, that like making up our minds and things like that. Horrible. I tell you, it's just it's a disaster. No, it's okay. So what is the name of that song again? David Bowie what?
Sunday by the and then Moby remix.
Okay, and you like the Moby? You want me to remix the Moby remix? I'll give it a shot. It might sound like birds chirping, but
even better.
Yeah. So
what happens when you remix birds chirping then?
Sounds like David Bowie.
David Bowie, yeah. That's how the universe works. Pay attention, kids.
Yeah.
Well, I love you guys. It's midnight. Jeremy, I'd love to talk to you more.
Yeah,
like,
so do I, but we'll have to save it.
Oh, I put it. Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm happy to collaborate with music and videos and
gratitude
stuff like that. Like I love that kind of stuff. I love that, and I've been thinking about becoming a YouTuber, just I don't know, because it's cold outside and I'm inside all the time. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I can pull it off.
Talk about
You
the
know,
weather. Yeah.
maybe I can click that button at the top of my corner and make a video. I don't know.
I
Seems like
think
a lot
I
of
think
work.
even just I think even just a video of like you playing your music, like improv music. I think that'd be cool. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Kind
to
of like share what you do.
more of that. Are we still good for tomorrow for a set tomorrow at the shift?
You know
assume.
what?
Like you
I
said,
got so busy that
I'm bringing my.
yeah, bring whatever. I
I'm gonna bring my
haven't
gear tomorrow.
promoted it.
No, I
let's
don't
aim
want
to
it. I don't
promote.
want it to be promoted. Like, it's supposed to be not.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm
It's
saying. But
supposed to be background stuff.
let's
Let's
promote
bring
like next week maybe, or maybe even 2 weeks from now as like a sound ceremony, potentially, if you want to.
I can. Yeah, I think we should. Yeah,
We'll
I don't
plan
feel
it.
like I'm
We'll
a
plan
good
it.
facilitator for that kind of. I think you're better. You're a really good facilitator at that kind of thing.
Well, thanks, and that's what I mean though. But like,
Maybe you could.
what I'm thinking is like yeah, like having you with like your didger, bring some drums, bring some stuff, and
I've always been like to support people. Like, if someone wants to do a sound healing
we
thing,
can
like,
turn it into
support
like
them,
a healing journey.
I'll happily support them with that. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lead a sound healing journey. I just don't feel like it's my spot in the universe to do that. So.
I understand. Yeah.
But I will totally play the
Yeah,
didgeridoo.
and yeah, no, I was.
And I won't be the. I don't want to be the face.
Yeah.
You know?
Bring next tomorrow for the London shift meeting. Like bring don't. I wouldn't worry about bringing your dig tomorrow or drums tomorrow, but like bring your key,
No.
bring whatever, bring your laptop or whatever it was.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually, and this time I'm actually going to prepare a set. So.
Okay.
So it'll actually be something other than just me, like doing stuff on the place.
Cool. Okay, sounds good. Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, it is here.
Good night, everyone.
I know Jimmy's with us, and Jacob actually just got back in here. But did I honestly, like, just time-wise and stuff like that, we won't have time to get into too much with you guys. But do you guys I just want to pass the talking stick to you guys. Is there anything you guys want to get into the recording of the broadcast? Jacob, go ahead. You want to just say hi?
All right. Hello.
Hey, dude. You can see.
I'm on camera. So I want to show you.
You want to show us?
You guys hear me okay?
It's a little choppy.
All right.
The audio is a little choppy, FYI. But what are we looking at?
Remember, book bag, hacky sack.
What is it?
You're very fun.
I think he's showing you a hacky sack.
It's a hacky sack from Pakistan?
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, remember how awesome they are and how they enable us to do our things. Also, Skull, do you remember when you made that video? You were on the dock under the full moon, right in your book.
Yeah.
You were just kind of sharing a little bit of
Book of Shadows. What book is that?
I don't like that name, so I wrote Shadows of Light.
Huh.
So that's all I wanted to show you. So I'm gonna take my camera off now so I can talk freely.
Cool, man. Yeah, by all means. It's good to see you. Awesome. Jimmy, did you want to say anything with people of the internet who have come to know and love you so much?
I love you all. But for real, that was real, just so you know. I meant that with every single fiber of my being. But anyways, I was just saying that you are all an inspiration. I have enjoyed listening to the portion of this conversation that I have been able to actually partake in. Well, not necessarily partake in, but at least listen to. But one thing I want to remind you of is continue to practice your mindfulness. continue to be able to differentiate your ego from your actual, purposeful intentions in life. Continue to be happy. Continue to live your love and never forget the actual purpose you are here to fulfill. And I'm just here in Oklahoma listening to the bombs drop every single day because they are always constantly firing artillery shells into the mountain range for some reason. But for some odd reason, they must be practicing for something, but it's just like a non-stop thing. It shakes house. I mean, the one other thing I've also noticed about this area I've lived in is become somewhat overabundant with some sort of...
Oh, Jimmy, you still there? Oh, Illuminati got him.
Apparently.
This happens every time. Jimmy, come back to us if you're still there.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, why?
I gotta go to bed though.
Yeah, so I gotta wrap it up. One thing I was just gonna say before we head out, does anybody want to share some intentions for themselves for the week ahead? Or are we too tired to think of intentions? Intentions to go to sleep, gosh darn it.
Something to say.
What was that? Say again, Jacob?
Can you hear me okay?
I think so. Go ahead.
Alright, well, I just want to say that for myself at least, and for anyone else this might pertain to, I have a problem with getting angry and focusing on the hatred that is produced, take it out on the people that indulge in it, whether or not they know about it or not. Take raves, for example. I would just say, if you have that problem, like I do, yeah, my intention is to try and just go about it more strategically, understanding, instead of just fucking getting pissed off about it, and like maybe throw in a clever suggestion so I can plant the idea in their head that maybe this is not the path for me.
I think I caught that.
I have a suggestion. Is it David? Is your name David?
Jacob.
Jacob. I have a suggestion for you, Jacob, if you want. This is something that works for me on with all of my different emotions. Is I always just try and this works for good emotions and bad emotions too. So this isn't just like a pick and choose your adventure kind of thing. But it's just recognize that the emotions that you have and the desires that you have as a human come from ultimately that you've inherited this all of your traits, including your personality and your emotion and different things like that. And each one is a blessing and a curse in their own ways, right? So I think I think this is just one of the basic things that has set me free many times in moments where I feel overwhelmed with emotion, good or bad, and I feel like I'm losing my sense of self to that emotion. It's just recognizing that it's coming from outside of me, and that ultimately, that it has its in prehistoric history. Ultimately. Back when we were just like mitochondria, and when mitochondria decided to eat the other one, it started this big chain reaction or whatever. That's not the right biology terminology, but I would say that just surrendering to that can make you humble about your good emotions. You're like, oh, I'm so great, blah 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 blah. But then you think, I'm just experiencing that greatness right now, right? So it humbles you when the good things come, and when the bad things come, it really sets you free from them. So that would be that's my one suggestion.
I would like to I would like to check in because we just said that thing about forgiveness. I think we said it. We said like, oh, next time that came up. So I think that might be a thread of consciousness coming up for a lot of us right now, that we're co-learning how to see the other person as your brother and how to forgive them no matter what. Just all these things that piss us off. I saw a video today that said like how to forgive somebody when you'd rather run them over with your car. I didn't watch it yet, but I think that might be a cool intention or a cool topic to talk about next week. Is how do we become more compassionate and forgiving towards other people? Mm-hmm. That would be a cool place to like segue. And then next week we'll talk about how to be more kind to ourselves and each other. I don't know.
Forgiveness is the closest thing to like a Dragon Ball Z power you can have, like shooting fire out of your hand like that. Pure forgiveness. Boom.
This is why I love
get through anything, yeah. For sure.
That's the closest thing you'll ever come to shooting fire out of your hand is forgiving someone like that.
That's cool. Awesome.
Powerful.
Well, guys, let's wrap this up here. The hangout. Jacob, thanks for jumping in here. Jeremy, thanks for being here.
I forgot.
Jacob, go ahead. Did you want to?
All right. So, if you don't know about DubFX, there's this other guy called M. But I
love DubFX.
He has this song called "Message in the Rose," and so like this for the rose example. Remember, it's not about the rose all the time. It's about the message in the rose. So in that case, one love.
One love. Cool. Yeah, I would just encourage any of us listening to this and those of us just like reflect on our intentions and just use them to be able to help create like our own path that we want to be able to follow and everything like that. Sort of see the steps between where it is now and where you want to go. So rather than just thinking like, oh, I really want this, see the steps between where you are and where it is that you want to go and take those little steps one at a time. So, or just fly there, whatever works. But yeah, I was just going to say, guys, keep an eye open because there will be some more media coming out in the next few weeks. And, any content on the website, any content that we're putting up, sharing it is a huge way to be able to help support the team. So just sharing other people's content. There's a cool video from the Spirituality Expo that I filmed that Jeremy's actually seen. It's not released yet, but it's like a montage of me asking people what spirituality means to them. So it's like this really cool collection of thoughts and ideas, and it actually features Jeremy's music in it again. So thanks again, Jeremy, for the music. And yeah, but with that said, just everybody who's tuned into this, if you haven't signed up on the website, please feel free to do that and use the website, use the live chat in it, use the space in it as a virtual hangout space to get creative with future ideas, post your content, and we will continue to archive it and help get it out there to be able to shift consciousness, and encouraging you guys as a little shift mission to go out there and plant seeds in your communities where you are, talk to a stranger, and support the project, order some shift buttons through the main website, and sign up to the website if you haven't already. But yeah, so, and facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Central, and facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Radio as well. And yeah, stay tuned because I'll set like we'll do like another global meditation within the next few weeks. I would like to do that. I feel that would be a good thing. So let's sort of aim to get some awesome content online so that when we invite new people in, they'll be able to see our website and be like, wow, like these guys are making some really cool stuff here, and give them the reason to continue to come back for more content, sort of thing. So building up for the future that is like, we're building up the audience for like that future message that's like really gonna be a big one. So creating the foundations for what's still to come. Cool. Being in service to our future selves.
Oh.
So what would our future selves want us to do right now? Think about it.
That's a good intent.
That's a good question. So think about that between now and the next time. So cool. Okay, was there anything else anybody else wanted to say? I think we're okay. So yeah, everybody was here. Jeremy just dropped out a second ago. Jimmy's phone died on his thing. That's why it synchronistically dropped out when he was like talking about himself. But for Jacob, Michelle, Natalia, and Tony, who's been in the chat this entire time, thank you so much, guys. And let's say farewell to the internet. So farewell, internet.
Love
Be
you.
well. We love you guys. All right, guys. Until next time. See you in the future.
Bye.
Keep it shifted. Peace.